The Daily Heart Me. What's up, Lucas?
How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, what would you like to share with us today, my friend?
I disagree with what you're saying. Like the USA is better than the UK. I disagree with that.
Okay, and on what do you disagree with that, my friend?
Most of it.
What do you mean most of it?
Because how is the USA better than the UK?
I'm
Can you give
asking
me
you.
like
I'm asking you to provide the
examples?
basis upon which you disagree with me. So, do you disagree?
Well, the president. The US president's a paedophile. That's
That's
proven.
false.
No, it's not. He's been proven. He's been convicted. He's
Okay,
in the files. It's
could
all
you
over.
could you run me through some of the proof of his conviction?
He was guilty for it. He's all
Guilty
over
for
the
what?
Epstein files, and Epstein was
Guilty
being a
for
paedophile, raping children.
Can you use TikTok friendly language, please? What was he found guilty of? Pertaining to
Raping children.
No, he wasn't.
Raping. There you go.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
It's been proven that.
Okay.
Also,
So do you
the
enjoy?
UK
Hold on. Hold on.
has got free healthcare,
Hold on.
Sir, no,
Don't
hang
talk
on. Do
over
you think
me.
it's
Don't
fair
talk
that-
over me.
Sorry.
Okay. This is not
Sorry.
how the live's gonna run. Okay. Just relax. So we're addressing the point. You just made a false allegation against somebody, claiming that they've been convicted of raping a child. That's a pretty serious allegation. So I'd like for you to substantiate that. You'd think if that had happened that we'd be able to find the case files, right?
Can I ask you another thing?
No, I'd like you to address that first point.
I barely heard you because I'm outside and the planes all over. So
I
barely
said
heard the words.
there is no proof that Trump has ever been convicted of raping.
His
anyone.
name's all over the files, and there's 34 convictions.
Can
so
you
there is
name
quite a
one?
bit of
Can you?
proof.
No, those convictions were for falsifying business records. They had nothing to do with
Were
rape. And
Okay, so what about are you from the USA by any chance?
No,
Where are you from?
I'm from the UK.
You're from. Okay, so the USA don't have free healthcare according to what I've researched about them. They don't have free healthcare. So if someone in the US hurt themselves badly, they'd have to pay more
There's no such
just
thing
to
as
treat
free
their
healthcare.
injuries. Yes, we have free healthcare in the
No,
UK.
we don't.
Yes, there is.
We have socialized.
Yes, we do.
We have socialized.
We've got free healthcare.
We have socialized.
We've got-
Can you stop interrupting me? We have socialized or
Sorry, Daddy.
we have socialized or universal healthcare, which is not free healthcare. Free healthcare is a misnomer.
So I'm not paying money though for my injuries, though, am I?
You pay money through VAT, so you pay money. There's no such thing as free healthcare, and all healthcare is free at the point of access. That would make unless you live in like a third world country, which has no infrastructure and has loads of corruption. In the UK and the USA, all healthcare is free at the point of access.
So you're from the UK, but why are you judging us if you're from the UK? That doesn't make
I'm
sense.
free to judge anything and anybody that I like. I'm making a judgment call based on being informed.
Yeah, but
on
why
the
judging your own
topic.
country?
It's not. I'm not a nationalist, so any country that I'm from has no bearing on what my beliefs should be.
Okay, Daddy.
Cindy Rosie says the US is better. Wait, what? Better in being in Ireland
The
and
US is better
consuming
in being
babies.
in islands and consuming
Jesus
babies, that's for
Christ.
sure.
Work on your English, please. I don't know. USA is a much more
I couldn't
complicated
tell you
system.
much about that.
Free healthcare at the point of access is also available in the USA. I don't think people realize that the USA healthcare that's free at the point of access provides more than the free at the point of access healthcare that you can get on the NHS. So if you're on Medicaid, that offers you more than what the NHS offers you.
Right, I can agree on one thing, that the government is shit in the UK, but that's just Keir Starmer. I can agree on that bit for you.
Okay. Right, let's move
can agree on
on.
that.
Someone said that's a load of shit. I get this thing a lot where people come on and they accuse me of talking shit, but they can never prove or justify it. And they think that I'm not like keeping track of what they're saying, but I'm really good at keeping track of what people say in conversations. So I'm just like, it's just weird to have been falsely accused of talking shit or saying something wrong so many times and not have a single person be able to prove it. Anyway, what's up, Christopher?
Hey up. So the couple of things, just addressing what they said before. The convictions against Trump were for a settlement for sexual assault in a civil court, not a criminal court.
Yeah, so it's not a conviction.
The system in the US works very differently from the way it would in the UK. We don't really have that differentiation between civil and criminal courts
Yes, we do.
for what would be a criminal act.
Yes, we do.
So Not to the level they do in the US.
Yes, they do. It's the same common law jurisdictions. There's a clear distinction between a civil court and a criminal court for both countries. The primary difference between the civil court in the USA and the civil court in the UK is the names that they call things. Like instead of saying an application to the court, they might say a motion, right?
I agree
but substantially they're the same, other than that the USA relies more heavily on punitive damages and provides more increased values of remedy. But substantially the difference between the civil and criminal court is the same. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, in the UK, the prosecution is entirely vested with the Crown Prosecution Service. The US have both federal and state jurisdictions. The methods of bringing about cases in the US is very different. If we look at Luigi Mangiani, he's pled guilty to his federal charges.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because then the state charges in New York will fall under double jeopardy.
Okay, but what does any of this have to do with Trump being allegedly a child rapist, as he was accused of?
I completely agree with you that no, it was a civil court. She was an adult at the time, and it was a sexual assault claim, not somebody under the age of 18 or 21.
It's also highly relevant that she's an insane feminist. I feel like we need to start making that clear. Like how like there's a stigma with certain stuff. I think every time you say somebody did something, I think we need to be able to qualify it, and she's a feminist, because then it will help people to understand the kind of mindset of the person that we're dealing with. So be like, she got found in her favor and she's a feminist. She said this and she's a feminist, because people need to start realizing that these people are like not mentally well.
Constructed in a different way. We don't have double jeopardy laws in the UK for a start.
We don't. Well, we do have the principle of double jeopardy. Yes, we do.
We don't have.
Why do you keep saying things that are not true?
Because they are true.
We do have the principle of double jeopardy. You can't be convicted. You can't You can't stand trial. I mean, there are nuances and exceptions, but generally speaking, you can't stand trial for the same offence twice.
It is, but you've got one body that is bringing about trials, and in the US, you don't.
There isn't one body that brings about trials in the UK.
Yes, there is. It's the Crown Prosecution Service.
The Crown Prosecution brings about the most, primarily brings about charges against people,
criminal charges,
and you can also do private prosecutions in the UK, and also individual. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes,
you have no idea what you're talking about, mate. You have no idea what you're talking about. Mate, I'm a litigant in person in 10 claims. I'm also bringing a private prosecution next year. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you keep saying things that aren't true.
You cannot bring a prosecution in the UK for a criminal matter that will end in jail time, because that is the job of the Crown Prosecution.
Yes, you can. It's called a private prosecution.
Show me the case law.
What do you mean, show you the case law?
Show me the case law that allows.
Are you saying show you an example of case law?
Yes. Yeah, show me where it says.
Okay, I can give you one off the top of my head. Have you heard of the Care Quality Commission?
The CQC?
Yes, the CQC held a private prosecution against Nottingham University Hospitals Trust in, I believe, 2023 and 2024. So they were they brought the prosecution against the trust, and they aren't the CPS.
They are not the CPS.
Yeah,
the CPS of
it's
the
called
Crown.
a private. Yeah, it's called a private prosecution.
It does not exist.
What do you mean it does not exist?
Show me the case law.
I just told you.
Give me the case number. Give me the docket number.
You can just look it up. It's in the news.
But
the thing is, you're asking me to justify something that everybody knows. You're just dumb. You just don't know something that everybody already knows. You're just wrong.
But you had the second part in saying that socialized healthcare exists in the US.
They do have forms of socialized healthcare, but I didn't even say that. I said that we don't have free healthcare in the UK. I said that we have universal or socialized healthcare. But anyway, how is this relevant to the fact that you said that you can't bring private prosecutions unless it's a civil claim? That's wrong.
We're moving on to the second
okay,
thing.
so you're wrong about the second thing too. Okay, cool.
No.
Let's continue.
No. So they have Medicaid.
Yes.
which is a form of socialized healthcare in the US,
Yes.
is also not accepted by a significant number of hospitals.
It depends
The
what you would
number one
characterize
cause of
as
bankruptcy
significant.
in the US is medical debt.
Well, that's see, the thing is, you guys, man, you come onto my life, none of you have any idea what you're talking about. You all say the same shit over and over again, and I'm just here
So what
debunking
is
the
the number
same.
one
You
cause of
say the
bankruptcy
same
in the US?
shit every single time.
What is the number one cause of bankruptcy?
There is never
in
a
the US?
singular cause of bankruptcy.
There is. What is the number one?
Let me finish
cause
speaking.
of
You don't
bankruptcy
see. I know
in
that.
the
I know
US?
the source that you're actually talking about. So if you allow me to actually explain it, so
Oh.
every single bankruptcy is caused by a person's individual financial circumstance, which is is based on the totality of their financial circumstance. Now, medical bills typically contribute the most to that. So when they say what is the cause of your bankruptcy, of course, medical bills are going to be the main contributor to that because of the value of the bill. So medical bills are a higher bill than almost any other bill you'll pay in your life.
Correct.
And so that's why they are the main contributor to to bankruptcy, I should say. But that doesn't mean that that is a significant thing that's affecting a lot of people in the society. It just means that when people go bankrupt, they check on the form, and it's also associated with my medical bills. Now, do you know the actual percentage of people that experience bankruptcy associated with their medical bills in the USA?
I believe if you're saying that's the form they tick on the box, it's around 80%.
You think 80%? No, you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying what percentage of people tick the box that go bankrupt. I'm saying
Well, if that-
what
if
I'm
that
saying.
is
What
the
percentage of the American population do you think experiences medical bankruptcy?
In what type? Chapter 7 or Chapter 11?
Overall, insolvency.
But they're different. Which one?
Well, they're different, but the source that you're referring to is a U.S. government source that is from the Office of. Wait, hold on. U.S. government source for. So, because I know that the U.S. calls it something different than we call it. I think we characterize it as bankruptcy, or I can't remember. One of us says insolvency, and the other one says bankruptcy. But basically,
So what's the difference between insolvency and bankruptcy?
well, in the United States, there's different forms of bankruptcy that allow you
Chapter
to.
7 and Chapter 11.
Yeah, I know,
go
but
on.
you're acting as though the fact that somebody goes bankrupt and says, "Oh, this is associated with my medical bills," is inherently a bad thing. So I'm trying
It
to.
is.
No, it's not, because bankruptcy is a means by which a person doesn't pay their medical bill in totality, and it affects their
Okay,
credit.
right.
But that is
What-
actually a
what-
mechanism
what-
by the state for someone to not pay their bill. So I don't understand how you're saying that's a bad thing
So what
when
you're saying-
you're
what
just
you're saying
talking
is
about a
that if-
mechanism that allows someone to
What-
not have to pay a bill.
What you're saying is that debt isn't valid because the government is forcing you to go through a bankruptcy proceeding.
They're not forcing you to go for a bankruptcy proceedings, and I'm not saying that it's not valid. We know that the medical bills are high in the United States, but I'm saying that it's a misrepresentation to make out like because medical
that's another point we're gonna have to
because
disagree on.
medical associated bankruptcy is or medical bills are the main contributor to bankruptcy. That is just a matter of the actual quantity of the number when you get a medical bill. Like, most people are not homeowners, right? So most people are not paying a mortgage, right? So most people, the highest bill they'll ever get in their life is their medical bill. So when they go bankrupt, right, or if they file for bankruptcy, the primary thing that they're going to select as the main contributor towards their bill is medical bankruptcy, is their medical bill.
Because medicine is not free at the point of access in the US.
It's free at the point of access if you need
No, it's
emergency
not.
treatment. Yes, it is.
No, very specifically there. If you need emergency treatment.
Yes.
But if you call an ambulance, you get a bill for $1,000.
Yeah, but it's free at the
Depending on
point
where
of
you are.
access. You get the bill after.
That doesn't make it free at the point of access. If
Yes,
I
it
go
does.
To a restaurant, no, it doesn't.
Yes, it
If
does.
I go to a restaurant and eat a meal and I get the bill at the end of it,
Yes.
is that meal being free up until that bill arrived?
Okay, so are you saying that UK our healthcare is free at the point of access?
It is, yeah. That's
Okay,
what
so
national
if
insurance
it's
is
free at the point of
introduced.
access, why did you have to pay taxes before you receive the healthcare? Why do you have to be a
You don't.
tax-paying citizen?
You don't.
Yes, you do. That's why people that are not citizens get the NHS surcharge.
No.
No,
No. No.
really. So another thing you're just going to make up.
So people who are coming in through the immigration system and the Home Office, yes, they have to pay an NHS.
Why do they pay the
surcharge.
NHS surcharge?
Let me finish.
Tell us.
But I have 2 kids. They were born. They have never paid taxes in their life.
Yes, but the system is not free. The system is a system of socialized healthcare
It's
where people
free at
pay
the point
taxes.
of access.
It's not free at any point because people are paying taxes towards it. You're just saying buzzwords because you want it to sound good when it's actually shit as fuck.
No, that's what it was introduced at in the 50s.
It doesn't matter what they say it is.
free
It's
at the point of
illogical to
access.
say that it's free when it's not free.
I'm going to
It's just
get
illogical.
to a cracker of the Second Amendment as well then.
Okay, so we can move on to another point that I will thoroughly debunk because every point you've raised has been thoroughly debunked. Guys, please press the heart me if you're just joining the live.
You really haven't, but go on. Second Amendment, go on. Why should civilians be allowed weapons
For the same reason that...
and not force regulation on those weapons?
Thank you for the heart me. I didn't say, I never claimed that they shouldn't force regulation on weapons, and the United States has significant amounts of regulation on weapons. In fact, in some cases they have more. Let me finish speaking. In some cases they have more regulations on certain things than the UK. I know that they just had a landmark ruling on suppressors, but apparently in the UK you've actually been able to get suppressors if you had a firearm certificate, for a certain firearm certificate. But anyway, the reason why civilians should be able to have firearms is the same reason why is the same as the reason why the police should be able to have firearms. Do you understand that?
I disagree on that point.
Okay, why should the police have firearms?
A civilian that has had 0 training and is forced to, they can go buy a gun. That is the Second Amendment. But in many states, they don't need to register that gun. They don't need to have any sort of certificate or security to ensure that gun's kept safe. Right? So let's look at the medical thing again for a second.
No, you keep jumping back and forth. No, you keep jumping back and forth between points.
This is an important distinction. Wait a second. If I want to go and buy pseudoephedrine in the US, it's logged because pseudoephedrine can be dangerous. So it's a statewide database, in some cases a federal-wide database, because we understand that is a dangerous thing to have.
Okay, so
quantities.
Just address your
But I
point.
can go and buy a gun, and then the next day I can go buy another, and another, and another, and another, and there is no restrictions in many states.
And that's a good thing.
How many times I can do that?
So anyway, as I was saying, the main point you raised in everything that you just said was that the reason why you don't think civilians should have firearms is because they're not trained, right?
I think that the Second Amendment specifically states.
Please address. No.
regulated.
You don't understand what the Second Amendment says. Please address what I just said.
What did you just say?
I said your reasoning why the civilians shouldn't have firearms substantially amounted
because
to
it's not
because
regulated, yeah.
because no, not because it's not regulated. You said because they're not trained, because you acquiesced to the fact that the policing authority should have
And I think
firearms.
that
So you're saying
training-
it's because the civilians aren't trained, right?
it's one of the reasons.
But what
And they're not
could be
regulated.
any other reason that wouldn't apply to police?
I think that if you look at a policeman's weapon, it is logged.
Yeah,
They are restricted on what kind of weapons they're allowed to have
yeah.
and hold. That does not apply in the vast majority of cases to civilians purchasing weapons
In the United States,
in different states, not in.
but
the
it does.
United States,
But they do register firearms. They have a firearm
in some
registry.
states.
Well, they have a federal firearm data. They have a federal
do not.
registry. Yes, they do. If you
There
buy it
is
from,
not.
yes, they
There is
do.
not a
If you
federal
buy it
registry
from
that's
an
used in
authorized,
every state.
yes, they do. You can do private sales, but if you buy it from an authorized place, then it will be. You have to do a federal background check.
In some states.
I'm pretty sure there's
No,
a federal
no.
requirement.
No, Texas doesn't.
If you get it from certain no, every state has a background
Every
checks.
state has different laws because the
Every
US
state has background checks though.
is no, they don't.
But
No,
anyway,
they
you're
don't.
still not. You always like teeter away from the core of the argument. We're trying to get
But
to
the
the
core of
meat
the
and
argument
potatoes.
is that
The crux
the
of your
Second
argument.
Amendment uses
The
the
crux
word
of your
well-regulated.
argument. The crux of your argument is that because civilians aren't trained, that's why they shouldn't have firearms. That's the
And
crux.
they're not regulated.
No, but we could have firearms and they be regulated. So to get to the actual crux, to the point that we're not disputing, because you could say,
Have you got firearms licenses
You could
in the
say,
UK?
hold on. You could say civilians should have firearms if they were regulated. You're saying they shouldn't have firearms. So the reason they shouldn't have firearms, in your opinion, is not because they're not regulated. You're saying it's because the civilians aren't trained, right?
I think that's one of the reasons, yes.
That's the only reason that you have that
it's not.
justifies why they shouldn't have firearms, because the stuff about regulation, you can have firearms and have regulation. Do you understand that?
But they don't.
I'm not saying no, they do have regulations. We're talking about in the
In some
UK.
states.
Bro, do you not understand how to do a basic thought experiment?
In some states.
In the
key thing is that
UK,
the US
I asked you, why should the civilians not have firearms? You said, you're talking about the USA. I'm talking about in the UK, right? Just stay on the
Yeah.
UK for a second, right? I said, why should the civilians not have firearms? The only point you raised that doesn't apply to the police is civilians are not trained to use firearms, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
And
so
then they're regulated in the UK. When was the
bro,
last
we
school
know
shooting
that
in
they're
the UK?
regulated. We're not talking about whether they're regulated. We're talking about whether
was the last
civilians
school
should be able
shooting?
to have them or not, right? Okay,
When
so
was the last school
if
shooting?
civilians,
was the last school
bro,
shooting?
stop going off topic. Just let me finish my point. If civilians were trained on how to use firearms, would you then be in favor of civilians having firearms?
They would need to be regulated and monitored.
Yeah,
as they
fine.
are in
If
the UK.
the firearms are regulated, monitored, and the civilians get trained on how to use firearms, do you think civilians should be able
What
to have
happens
firearms?
in the UK? Yeah, I know people that got shotgun licenses.
So you actually disagree with the current UK laws on firearms then?
No, I know people that have shotgun licenses.
But they're not allowed to use them for self-defense, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm saying to you, if you believe that
But
we
the-
should
the-
hold on.
the use of firearms-
So if you believe that we should have regulated and monitored firearms and civilians trained in the use of firearms, you are essentially arguing for a more American style system, because they have regulated, monitored systems where
They
civilians.
don't.
Yes, they do.
In some states.
Do you know why individual civilians are not trained on how to use firearms in America? It's because they have
I
a
don't.
ubiquitous gun culture where people are around guns from a young age and they understand how to use guns inherently. If you start talking to guns about guns to a UK citizen, they don't even know what you're talking about. It took me until the age of like 23 to even know what caliber meant. We don't understand guns, but Americans understand it, so they already have a cultural environment where civilians are trained and learn how to use firearms. So what I'm asking you is, if your issue is with us not having an environment where people exactly, then you are actually arguing for firearm ownership, because you're saying that if they're regulated and monitored.
Again, in a gun club in the UK where it's monitored by the police and there are visits to your house to make sure the guns are stored properly and things like that.
Okay.
Then yeah.
Do you believe that
we also have
people should be able to
restrictions on
use
what
firearms for
kind of
self-defense?
No,
You don't believe people should be able to use firearms for self-defense?
no, I don't.
Why not?
And the law in the UK is a lot more nuanced than you're saying, because if I use if I keep a cricket bat in the boot of my car and I use that as a weapon in self-defense, that could come under the Offensive Weapons Act in the UK.
I know. You could actually get charged with GBH, ABH, or even murder, depending on
Correct.
Correct. So that's ridiculous. That's called tyranny, my friend.
Is it?
Yes. Because all individuals should have the right to self-preservation.
There's a test, because a person can use reasonable force, and that is up to lethal force in the UK legally if it would be considered that their life was at threat or somebody else's life was at threat.
That's not the point of contention, because that's a standard in the United States as well. They have a reasonable force standard for every state that has castle doctrine, every state that has stand your ground laws. The point of contention in the UK with regards to you're being able to carry a weapon is the fact that the case law makes it so that if you carry a weapon, that is considered intent for the purposes of some offences. So they believe that simply carrying a weapon is evidence of your intent to cause harm. That is that's not only tyrannical, wrong, illogical. It's also completely ridiculous. That's completely ridiculous, because it doesn't even align with English and logic and rhetoric. Carrying a weapon is not the same thing as intent. It's not tantamount to intent. If it were tantamount to intent, then every single time someone ever carries a weapon, then you would argue that that's intent. How can you say that you understand the person's mind and you can read their mind and you knew what their intent was simply because they carried a weapon? That's ridiculous.
The thing with that is that you're removing not just the kind of type of guns people can own. So in the UK, I'm restricted to a 3-shot from a rifle and 2 shots from a shotgun. You are not allowed handguns except in some very specific lines of employment. There are already 2 jobs outside of the police and the military that are allowed to carry handguns.
Right.
And the restrictions on doing that are incredibly strict.
Yes, and that's ridiculous. And that's why we have a state of tyranny in the UK, because the state doesn't fear any of the citizens at all.
I disagree. And we saw the same thing. I think we're going to, if we look at what happened in 1993.
Oh, another buzzword talking point. Dunblane, school shooting. Yep. It
not
is.
had any more, though, have we? How many mass shootings have the US had this year?
How many were there before Dunblane? 2?
Very little.
So where's the statistical significance then of banning the guns and the reduction of school shootings when there was barely any before Dunblane?
Because we've ensured that they've not occurred out.
No, but there's no statistical significance to that.
But every country that's taken gun control in has seen a significant drop to 0 since they've done that.
No, that's not true. There was a school shoot. There's school shootings in Germany. There's school shootings in. Have you not heard of? You see, the problem is a lot of the countries that you are focused on. I feel like you don't have a understanding of what's happening in a lot of other places. Like, you realize in Africa there are school shootings all the time. I
realize there's a lot of places that things happen.
They just don't get reported in the same way. America has a robust way of reporting, and they also report shootings that happen in the vicinity of a school as school shootings, and that pads the numbers, right? So there are probably more school shootings in Nigeria than there are in America, huh?
Mass shooting then instead of school shootings.
What, a shooting in which 2 or more people get shot?
4.
But what's the obsession? Why don't you just use the general violent crime statistics? The general violent crime statistics are higher in the USA, right? Okay, cool. But is there actually a correlation worldwide between the rate of civilian firearm ownership and the violent crime rate?
Yeah, there is.
No, there isn't.
What is the most?
There actually isn't.
What is the most dangerous call a US cop can get?
Are you aware that there actually isn't a correlation? So that already just debunks the argument that more guns is the reason why there's a higher violent crime rate.
Well, more guns isn't making them safer, is it?
Yes, it is, actually.
Is it?
Yes.
What's the most dangerous call a policeman can have in the US?
Somebody did a naughty tweet online.
Is it? Or is it domestic violence?
That doesn't sound like the most dangerous call that a police officer can get.
It is, because you've got high tensions and live weapons.
Okay, how is that relevant? Oh, are you talking about in America?
We're talking about whether they should be able to have any gun they want, which seems to be your kind of thing. So, should I be able to have an AK-47?
Yes.
Or the MP5?
But you've completely ignored the point that I raised that actually debunked your point, which was that there isn't a worldwide correlation between civilian firearm ownership and violent crime. America is one of the safest countries in the world, and it has the most guns in the world. So make sense.
More guns makes us safer, and reduces violence.
Yeah.
When does that start to happen?
It's already happening in the USA. If there weren't guns, it'd probably be a much more dangerous society.
Oh, I think we're gonna have to disagree on that one.
Of course it would, because it's a large society that's significantly unmonitored in terms of not having the same level of cameras. It's a big place with a lot of nature and wild. Wait. Yep. And it's next to Mexico, which is controlled by cartels. It's got a direct route from the producers of majority of drugs into the number one consumer market in the United States. If America didn't have guns, it would literally be anarchy. That's what's keeping America together, is the guns, because they can't actually control that landmass as effectively as you think. It's not like the UK, which is 42 times smaller, locked down police state on an island, right? That's a very easy country to control and surveil. The United States has mountains, deserts, all kinds of places. It's very difficult to control a place like that. And if people didn't have civilian firearm ownership, I think the crime rate would be much higher.
I disagree on that, and then the other thing you're going to have is, federal budgets.
If Americans didn't have firearms, do you know what would happen? The cartels in Mexico would just take it over.
Ooh, I think that's
What would be there to stop them? There'd be a war, because they would literally just come into the country and go, no one has firearms. We're just gonna. They already do it. The gangs already do it. They already have, disproportionate power in local communities, and they have drug trafficking routes that they set up, etc. Now imagine if nobody had any firearms, and these gangs from Honduras, Venezuela, all of these countries.
I thought Venezuela was now safe. Trump's invaded.
It's still one of the most dangerous places in the world. Central America is the most dangerous place in the world.
But if the US system works, when Trump went in there, he should have solved that.
I'm not advocating for Trump going into Venezuela. I'm talking about something completely different.
He's been into Venezuela. He's done.
But I'm talking about something completely different. I'm talking about the fact that you're arguing. I made the argument that I think that the firearms are actually making America safer because of the other logistical things that, like, America's a massive place. It has a lot of wildlife nature. It has a lot of wild animals. It's a difficult terrain to tame in terms of having mountains, forests, beaches, all kinds of stuff. And it's next to Central America, the most dangerous place in the world, with drug cartels that control that whole region, right? And on top of that, it's the number one consumer market in the world. So I'm saying, if there was no way for civilians to actually have firearms and protect themselves, you would need to have the place to be able to be locked down, like Massachusetts or New Jersey or New York. The reason why those places are like that is because they are able to be locked down because of the infrastructure, the cameras. They're able to operate more like a police state, right? But the majority of America isn't like that. So if you took away everyone's guns, they would all be fucked, huh?
Where do you draw the line? What guns should I be allowed? And even the US does have a line. Where should that line be drawn?
I just don't think that you should be able to have any gun that can cause mass destruction. As in, like, if you detonate it, you can't accurately hit the target that you want to hit. So it's indiscriminate.
So, an MP5?
No, because you can accurately shoot a firearm. That's what they're designed to do, is accurate shooting. But I'm talking about something like a bomb.
Accurately shoot them in a single.
I'm talking about something like a bomb that you're using in an uncontrolled environment. Like, I think you should have to have some kind of like register if you have bombs. I think you should be able to own them, but I don't think you should be able to have like a nuclear bomb, for example.
Okay.
So but I think that you should be able to own automatic weapons.
Because if we look at the devastation that a nuclear, even a nuclear reactor can cause. If we look at the difference between what happened at 3 Mile Island, what happened in Japan, and what happened in the Ukraine, we understand that kind of technology has inherent dangers.
Right.
As we look at, so what you're saying is everything up to that point is okay?
No, I said anything that can cause indiscriminate
is okay. Indiscriminate.
I think you should be able to buy a helicopter and have a gun on it. And if you miss your target and hit someone, then you get charged. Simple. But I think that you should literally be able to have drones that have firearms on them.
I mean that seems like the problems we had many years ago. We had in the UK, the first company in the UK that was torn off the company register was the East India Company. And the reason they were taken off the register was that they had more weapons than some countries did. They had a larger standing army than the UK did at the time.
I mean, it was basically just a proxy for the banking cartels anyway, so it's the same shit, same people that run...
The banking cartels didn't really...
Same people that run England anyway. It's the same shit. East India Company, British Empire, same shit.
It's not.
I know there's a distinction. I'm saying that they're run by the same people.
Yeah, well, they're not. I mean, the British Army at the time, the British military before, we're going back to,
Well, they were run by the same people. That's why they're called the British East India Company, because a company is a body, a corpus that's incorporated into the crown, meaning that it belongs to the crown, which means that it... Well, that's why it's called the British East India. You just said it was on Company's House, mate.
Yeah, if you have a company and it's incorporated, that does not mean you're owned by the king.
It means that the company belongs to His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, which means...
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It means that it belongs to the crown.
No.
Yes, it does. You should look that up.
That's not how company law works.
That is what it means. But you might not understand what it means, but that is what it means. That's why you incorporate it. When you incorporate something or register it, you are giving it to the crown as property. That's why they're able to regulate when you do your VAT filings, etc.
Do you conveyance when you drive your car? Are you driving a conveyance or are you?
Well, I'm not going to get into the whole
Because
argument
it seems
about.
that's where you're going.
No, that's not where I'm going. I'm just speaking facts. Like, you clearly
It's
seems
not
not to
facts.
know that when you register a
when-
business, the business becomes property of the crown. Like, I don't know how
It doesn't.
how you can dispute that.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So let's go with public limited companies, PLCs. Who are
Yeah.
they owned by?
Ultimately, if they're a limited company, they belong to the crown.
So Google they have a PLC registered in the UK.
Wait, say that again.
They
'Cause
have limiteds registered in the UK.
Wait, hold on 1 second. The Google Incorporated, the Google Incorporated company belongs to the crown in the UK. The UK arm of that belongs to the crown. Yeah.
You've gone a bit dicky, mate.
Sorry, I know my thing's bugging out. Yeah.
No,
so,
that's fine. That's fine. I just didn't know if you'd left or.
Yeah,
I was
so
just-
that's what it means. Obviously, the crown isn't
No,
going
it
to do
doesn't.
anything. Mate, are you aware that all land and property in England and Wales belongs to the crown? Like, I don't even know why you're disputing this. We live in a constitutional monarchy.
Yeah, we do.
Like,
We
nobody
do.
nobody argues this stuff. Like, so I don't know what the
We
point
do
of
live in a
arguing is.
constitutional monarchy. I'm not done.
Yeah, so
disputing that.
all land
What
in
I'm
England and
saying
Wales
is,
belongs to the crown. Like, everybody knows this.
Your argument is that the Alphabet, who own subsidiaries within the UK
Yeah,
and operate within the UK
yeah,
and in Europe and things like that.
Yeah.
So if we look at one of their companies,
Yeah.
Google Play Services,
hmm
what you are saying is that that company is not owned by the shareholders of the company.
Yeah.
It's owned by the crown.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying that if the
That is
crown,
complete horseshit.
you don't understand the law. If the King of England wanted to, he could seize that property. He's not going to, but he could seize it.
No. it
Yes,
doesn't.
yes, that's
Company
what monarchy.
law-
That's what a monarchy is,
Company
mate.
law does not work that way.
It doesn't
Go and
matter,
get a copy of
bro.
UK GAAP.
Bro, what do you
Go
mean
and
by
get a copy of
company
UK
law?
GAAP.
We live in a monarchy. Like, what do you not understand about this?
I think that you've become somewhat disillusioned by that.
Where's the
I don't
where's the
think-
disillusionment? Everybody
Because
knows
you're
that's what
inherently
monarchy
wrong.
means.
I have a company. I own shares within that company.
Yes.
They are my assets.
Yes, and the king
Right.
could come and take your shit, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Theoretically, on paper,
No.
the king could come and take
No.
your shit. Yes, you the king.
No.
So do you think that the king is immune from criminal prosecution?
So in theory, the
Yes,
king is immune from criminal
exactly. Is
prosecution
it can
because
can the
head
king
of the Crown
can the king
Prosecution
pardon can the
Service.
king pardon people?
in theory,
Yes. So the king clearly isn't treated the same as everybody else, right?
so this is starting to become more clear then.
Right.
Your
So the
issue's
king
not with
has
the UK,
powers.
I
I don't
don't
have
with
an-
the fact that it's a monarchy.
I don't have an issue with the monarchy.
So-
I'm just telling you because you keep changing the subject, and every single time you change the subject, I have to correct you on things that you say that are wrong. So I'm telling
Well,
you that
you-
all incorporated
UK
companies
GAAP,
belong to the crown,
UK
like, and
GAAP,
you're disputing that
UK
as if it's like hard to figure this out.
Well, it's not. It's so what you're saying is that all of the accounting regulations, all of the company law, everything is the king's. If you
Yes,
register something,
but not the
it
king,
then
not
becomes his
necessarily the
property.
king, not necessarily the king, the crown, the
Yeah.
crown.
So
yes.
what you're saying is, if I take my car outside, that's registered with the DVLA.
Yes.
That is now owned by the king.
Yes, that is by
In
definition
theory.
owned by the king. It's owned by the crown. Yes, that's why they are able. That's why they are able to force those regulations upon you when you use the public roadways.
This is starting to sound very much like a free man of the land argument.
It doesn't matter what it sounds like. It matters whether it's factual or not.
It's not factual.
So you don't realise that all land in England and Wales actually fundamentally belongs to the crown. Are you not aware of that? Why do you think that? Why do you think that Why do you think that everything in the government is called His Majesty's this and His Majesty's that? Why do you think it's called
Because-
His Majesty's?
that is historical.
His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, His Majesty's Prison Service. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
connecting in your head, no?
Well, the idea is that you're kind of throwing this kind of three man of the land common law
No,
argument.
no. Stop using buzzwords and
inherently
listen to
flawed.
what's being said. Why is it called His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, His Majesty's Prisons? Why is it called that?
Because it's historic.
Because it belongs to the crown. That's why.
That's not how things work now.
Okay. Anyway, final questions because I want to move on because you're just being delusional, bro.
Well, good luck with your move, and
Cheers, mate.
yeah,
All right, man.
take care. Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Jesus, man. Like, this guy's just wrong about everything he said. I'm just like, what the Did someone say something about Dean Rivers? Guys, if you're in the live, can you please give me the my daily heart me? I appreciate your help boosting the algorithm. I'm already seeing a positive effect of you guys doing the daily heart me. So if you fuck with my content, please do the daily heart me, and also tap the screen to like the live and share the live, because we are going to boost our platform. Now that I know about heart me's, thank you for the heart me, appreciate it. Now that I know about heart me's, we are going to boost our platform. I'm going to get 10,000 heart me's, you know. But yeah, do people not know that in the UK, I don't think you can own land warranty deed, but you can own it warranty deed in the United States, which means you can own the land all the way beneath and all the way above to the sky. And in the UK, if you dig into your own land and find certain minerals, then it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the crown. So people not knowing this stuff is probably why they don't realize why the USA is better than the UK, because they don't understand that, like, in the UK everything belongs to the crown theoretically, and so all of the laws and principles stem from that ultimately, and that's why it's more of a tyrannical state. Elodial title, isn't that when the crown actually gives you the thing? Let me just check that one sec. System of absolute land ownership. Hold on. Originally, Elodial title UK. Oh yeah, see, it says alloidal title, absolute land ownership free of any superior landlord or state sovereign, does not exist in England, Wales or Northern Ireland. Under English land law, all land is ultimately owned by the crown, and all individuals holding estate such as freehold or leasehold. Right, there you go. So the thing I've just been debating about for like the past 30 minutes, I should have just searched it up and just been like, yeah, there you go. Because for some reason, people think that I don't know what I'm talking about, and it really fucking pisses me off. And it's like, I always forget, like, oh, they don't know me, so like, they're just going to assume I don't know what I'm talking about because they never heard what I'm saying before. This is common knowledge. How can you even debate this? Exactly. This is what I was saying. I was like, do people not know this? Because this is part of the reason why there was these kind of disputes that led to the formation of the United States. It's because of the fundamental basis of how the UK works. And they haven't actually changed the UK system, really. It's still a constitutional monarchy. It's just masked by the fact that Parliament makes more of a show of the things that they do. But ultimately, every time it's time for a new prime minister to be selected, the king grants his, gives his permission, right, for his government. Remember, it's also called his government. So it's the king's government. So while he might not be doing the everyday running of it, the system is set up so that everything belongs to the crown. And that's why they kind of can do what they like. You don't really have constitutional rights. You don't have land rights. You don't really have rights in the UK. The closest thing you have to rights is basically the Human Rights Act. Curb says most low IQ arguments I've ever heard. Because you're an idiot. That's what it is. You're just an idiot. Like, you can't say anything that will contribute to the conversation because you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You're an idiot. Why do you think the US is better than the UK? We get free medical aid. We don't get free medical aid. Better public transport. The public transport is only good in the major cities. And because the population density of the UK is like 8 times higher, you're 8 times more likely to be close to someone else. Like, what is hard to understand about that? So obviously they need public transport. But you realize that planes are also public transport, right? Planes, cars, trains, buses. Like, if you want to go state to state, just get a fucking plane and an Uber. UK is much better and safer food. Yeah, I agree that the food is better in the UK and safer in general. So we're looking for guest requesters. We've got 93 likes. Guys, please press the heart me. I appreciate it. Cars are not public transport. Have you heard of Uber, mate? What's up, Truth?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Would you agree that you are what you eat?
Would I agree that you are what you eat?
Yes.
I wouldn't agree with that, no.
No? Well, in America, the food you eat's full of steroids.
The food who eats?
Chemicals. Yes.
The food who eats?
The humans eat in America.
Yes.
Is full of steroids, hormones, all sorts of chemicals.
And that's the same as everywhere in the world. That's called mass agriculture and farming.
Banned.
Yes, it is actually.
Genetically modified crops are banned in the UK.
No, they're not.
Steroids are banned in the UK. You see, I'm a farmer.
Yeah, that's great, but okay, so
yeah, it's not great.
Okay, let me finish. Okay, is a banana a genetically modified crop?
Depends where you buy it from.
Have you seen what bananas naturally look like?
If it says GM on it,
Have you seen what bananas naturally
Genetically
look like?
modified.
Have you seen what bananas naturally look like?
yes, they're green.
Okay, have they been genetically modified?
No, because they go yellow when they're ripe.
No, bananas are a genetically modified fruit. Have you seen what broccoli naturally looks like, or are you aware that multiple vegetables have been created through genetic modification that are common on the UK markets? Almost all fruits on the UK market are genetically modified. So genetically
They are
modified.
grown in different ways.
So genetically modified food is
through
not
some-
banned. You're incorrect about that.
It is. It is.
It's
banned.
not.
It is.
But I just explained to you that a banana is a
Yeah,
genetically
it
modified
is
food.
banned.
So are bananas
But it's
banned?
banned. Grown in the UK, the food. If you buy food from the UK, the food is free from genetically modified.
Okay, but you already agreed that bananas are
And it's
genetically
full
modified food.
American meat. where we
Selective
have
breeding is
chicken,
genetic modification.
Chicken. If you have chicken, beef, whatever in America, is full of steroids and hormones.
Yeah, I'm aware of
Fact.
that. But you don't have to eat that food.
But in the UK, it's not. You don't even have to think about it.
Well,
It's not in it.
It depends. There are obviously the foods that are eaten by like farm animals depend on the farmer, right? Some farmers feed grains like to their cows or whatever. Some farmers, well, in America, some do, but it depends on what you feed the animal. That's the how the health of the animal is determined. I eat game hunted meat, so I'm not really even too concerned about farming practices, and I'm not too educated on it either. But the point is, I also eat game hunted meat when I'm in America, so you can just choose what you want to eat.
But people in America can't choose what they want to eat.
Yes, they can.
Because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. They can't afford the organically grown stuff.
Of course they can.
No, they can't. We're talking
Really?
people who live in poverty. Yeah,
Majority of Americans don't live in poverty.
they do.
No, they
There's
don't.
a lot of poverty in America.
No,
They
the
do.
poverty rate is double in the
You,
UK.
you really need to go across America.
I've already been
You really
across
need to
America.
have an understanding.
I've been across America. The poverty rate is 2 times higher in the UK. Did you not know that?
Yeah, yeah, but at the same time, we have a choice, and we don't need to have a choice. of our
Americans
food,
have
'cause
more
it doesn't
food
have
choice
it.
than anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and it's full of chemicals. And
Not all the
steroids and
food is full
hormones.
of chemicals.
Most of it is.
Have you ever been out to America?
Oh, I've been everywhere in America.
You've been everywhere in America and you couldn't figure out
Yep.
a place to get food that wasn't full of chemicals?
No, that's not what I'm saying. A majority of food in America, the majority of food is full of it.
But you could have chosen
You
not to
can't
eat
deny
it.
it.
I can deny
You-
it because I've
you
also
can't-
lived in America and I didn't eat any of that food. So you're just choosing to eat that food.
But a lot of people in America, as I said, can choose to eat that food.
Yeah, and some people
They
in the
can't afford
UK
it.
eat McDonald's every day. That's their
Yeah,
choice.
And do you know where that food? Do you know where that food's from?
Where McDonald's is from is produced
Yeah.
locally.
Correct. So it's got no steroids. It's got no hormones. It's got no.
But
chemicals
McDonald's
in it.
is objectively not good for you. So my point is, human beings
So
who
what's
have
so bad
access
about
to something,
McDonald's? So what's so bad about McDonald's?
bread is bad for you. The seed oils are bad for you, and the meat is low quality and it's overcooked. That's the main things.
The meat is not low quality
Yes, it
because
is.
it's from Irish and beef. And they
It's-
only use certain
it's
cuts.
low quality because it's cooked
no,
in seed.
sorry,
it's
but they
fried
only
in
use
seed.
certain cuts. They cannot. They
Yeah.
cannot afford as a company to have bad cuts of meat. They
It's
can't
low
afford for one person's burger to be
understand,
wrong.
I understand what you're saying, but it's low quality not because of that. I'm saying it's low quality because it's fried in seed oils.
They don't fry the meat in seed oils. They put it on a grill. It's 100% beef, and it's just from frozen. They cook it solid.
Yeah, but before they froze it, did they not fry it in seed oils?
No,
So how do they freeze it?
it's just
Do they
raw
freeze
meat.
It? Oh, they freeze it from raw.
They just freeze it.
They freeze
Yeah.
it from raw. Okay, I'm learning something. So you're saying they freeze it from raw.
Yeah, 100%
And then they
beef.
don't fry the beef. They grill it.
Yep, they just put it in hot plates, between 2 hot plates, and grill it.
Okay, so I guess the only thing that would be bad about it then is if it's overcooked. But now
Yeah.
that you've taught me
But
that,
that's
I
to do
appreciate
with
that.
that's.
But
to
it's
do
still
with the
McDonald's is still
timer on the
objectively
cooker.
bad for you. It's got high in sugar. It's got bread. Bread is not good for you. It's got sauces that have a lot of like different chemicals in them as well. So,
Yeah.
but I agree. I'll concede that perhaps the meat is not as bad quality as maybe people believe. But my point wasn't about the quality of American food. My point was that anywhere you go, people have the ability to eat bad quality food if they want every day, and they also, especially in America, they have the ability to eat good quality food or bad quality food, and many people do choose to eat bad quality food. But I wouldn't really say that's an indictment of the United States, because you have the option to choose what you want to do, right?
There is, in America, you do have choice. Everyone has a choice because everyone's free. okay? But the point is, there is so much of the cheap food that's available, which they can afford, that is what everyone buys, and they don't know what's in it half the time. They haven't got a clue. They really have no idea.
Well, I agree with you in the sense that there's a proliferation of unhealthy food, but I don't think that the proliferation of unhealthy food makes America a worse country to live in, because you can live in America and just choose not to eat that food. So if you're arguing that Americans on average are less healthy than UK citizens, then I would agree with you if we're talking about the citizens. But I'm talking about the actual place to live in and the opportunity it provides, and the life you can carve out if, like, say you or another person chose to live in America. Of course there'll be things you have to navigate. If you live in America and you live in a very high crime neighborhood, you're going to have completely different issues to if you live in a low crime neighborhood, right? So if you go over there, it's going to be heavily, how you live is going to be heavily dependent on your choices. But I'm saying the fact that that you have those opportunities to choose the lifestyle that you want means that you can carve out a far better life over there than you can over here. And the reality is that most people do have a better life over there than we have over here. Even though some people don't. Some people eat McDonald's every day and are fat as fuck, right? But likewise, there are many people that live normal, healthy lives, earn way higher salaries than us, have way more rights than us, live in safe neighborhoods, and they're thriving and doing better than us. But we like to ignore all of those people and focus on the fat people that live in poverty.
Okay, that's your belief, and that's what you believe, and that's what you feel. That's good for you.
Where did you travel when you were in the United States, by the way?
Where did I travel?
Yes.
I've gone east coast, west coast, north, south.
And what was your impression?
Every area is different. Every town is different. Every city is different. Every culture is different.
Yeah.
I find it racist.
Against who?
Unbelievable. Different cultures. Whoever the culture is, you see the boundaries, which was quite shocking sometimes.
Okay. So you found it. How long were you there for?
I've been in and out of there for 20 years.
So do you think that the UK is better?
Yes.
So why do you keep going back there?
Because I got family there.
Oh, so you go back there to visit family, but you don't actually like it there?
I do like it, but I'm just telling you that it's more racist, a lot more racist than this country.
And how?
I feel so sad. I feel so sad for so many people seeing what I'm seeing.
When you what can you describe the experience that you had that made you?
Okay, I'll do one experience for you. I was on a bus. I was going to a ferry port, and there's a beach that runs along the side. This was just last September.
Yeah.
There's a beach, long beach, for about 3 miles, and I was just noting that. Well, there's all these white people on the beach. Then all of a sudden, when I was looking out the window, the beach just full of people of coloured skin. It was horrible.
Oh, like a teen takeover. Were you in Florida?
No, it wasn't a teen takeover. These were families.
Okay.
It was just like the whites were bathing here, and people of Indian descent or of black descent, they were on that side of the beach, and I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I just like,
wait, that's your example of racism?
What the hell?
Is that really your example of racism?
No, I could do more, but that's family issues.
But I don't understand what the issue is. Different people usually cohort with people that are like them.
Yeah, but you can see the divide. There's so much to divide between people.
Mate, that divide exists everywhere. Have you ever been? Did you go uni in the UK?
Nope.
Okay, if you go uni in the UK, everybody knows there's the white events and the black events. It's just how it is. That's how the world works.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how you're saying.
But I just note I've been to the Middle East. I've been to India. I've been to Africa. But the biggest divide I have seen is in America.
Really?
Between cultures. Yep. Absolutely.
That's interesting. So
it's if you spend time there, and my family is of an origin, and you see what's going on with their children at school and stuff like that, it's crazy. Here's another story for you. My sister-in-law, husband, he emigrated to America with their family from India, and they went to Philadelphia. They had to pretend that they were from Mexico for 30 years.
Well, they didn't really have to do that, did they?
Because they were the only Indian people there. And the son
How-
only found out he was Indian when my sister-in-law spoke to him in a bar and said, "You're Indian." He says, "No, I'm not. I'm Mexican."
Bro, what is this story? How bad does your aura have to be that you can't even be yourself? Like, so you're saying that they were putting on a fake Mexican accent for 30 years?
No,
Like, what
no,
are you
no,
talking
no, no,
about?
no, no. No, they just fix. In Philadelphia, there's some very, very poor areas. I mean, extremely poor areas. You know, like Rocky.
Yeah.
You see Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that area there. Okay?
Okay.
And what happens is the cultures change. So first of it was Irish that were in there. And then the Mexicans came in.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps changing what groups are in there. So when they came in, they were the only Indians there. So they had to mix in. They didn't want their kids getting picked on at school or beaten up or anything.
Okay.
So that's the way it works. You've got to mix in.
Just
You've got to
like how
pretend
in the
someone
UK,
else.
when Indians and Pakistanis came, people used to go paki bashing and they used to
Oh,
have
yeah.
beef. And then when the
Oh,
Windrush
yeah.
happened, they used to have beef with the skinheads and the
Yeah, yeah,
Rastas.
yeah.
So,
But that-
so you're describing something that happens everywhere, right? You're not.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not actually specific
But
to America.
I feel it, but I feel it more in America. When I go there, I feel it a
Maybe
lot more.
you feel it more because you have this preconceived notion in your
No.
mind about how America is. Because most of the time when I've gone to America, I've not felt anything like that, and I've felt people be exceptionally kind. And I've been same as you
Yeah.
all over America.
Yeah.
So what?
So
What do you
I've been
think?
to South Africa. I've been to Morocco.
You didn't think
all
there was
over the
more of a
Middle
divide
East.
in South Africa than in America?
I didn't feel it.
Oh come on, bro.
No, no, no. I didn't feel it. No, listen. You might say
This guy's
that.
cap, bro.
No, I'm not tapped at all. If you actually go there and actually spend time with people and mix in with people, then you start feeling it. A lot of groups in America they form their own groups. There's so many groups in America. Everyone sticks to their own groups.
What's wrong
And
with that?
it's- I don't like that. I don't like.
You don't
people
believe in
staying
freedom
their
of
own
freedom of association?
groups. I believe in that people should just mix in with
Yeah,
everyone.
but do you think people should be forced to mix in with everyone?
No.
So then, what's the
Everyone should be
problem?
open-minded.
So people have
Everyone
the
should be
freedom,
open-minded.
but people have the freedom to associate with who they want to. How does it affect you if people decide that they want to associate with one type of person?
Because it affects their minds how they treat other people.
But why are you worried about
How they
them?
look at
What-
other people.
How does it affect you if they
Because
decide?
I want the cultures to say, I'm happy with all cultures.
But you,
not
but
self-
so you want people
mind
to
constrained.
be you want people to be forced to.
No, not forced. No,
But
not
how?
forced.
Okay, so aren't they doing what you want them to do then, which is just make their own decisions if they're not being forced?
Well, you could say that, but at the same time, if you stay in your own little group and you don't mix with anyone else, then you'll never, and you just have children that do exactly the same thing. Everyone just stays in their own little groups.
What's wrong with that?
I hate it. Hate
Why?
it.
Why though?
Because it breeds criticism, it breeds hate, it breeds destruction.
I disagree. The thing
No.
is, it's like in school, right? Everyone had their own groups, but then you have some people that float between like different groups. Then you like everyone knew their group. Like, oh, those are the nerdy kids. Those are the people that play football. Those are the people that like smoke weed. But then people would mix between different groups, but everyone still had their group.
Where I'm a little bit different is that I would say if I don't go to Spain, so say if I went to Spain, do you think I would hang around with the British?
Probably, yeah.
No, I wouldn't. No thanks.
But if you did, that would make sense, right?
It makes sense because that's what groups do. They hang around together. But I'm not like that. That's not me.
Do you not think that you would have more affinity with someone that, let's say, is British but also wants to hang around with Mexicans? Like if you met a British guy and he's like, hey, I'm British but I also want to hang around with the Mexicans, wouldn't you get along with him better?
I'll probably get on with him better.
Yeah, because he's like
got the same
you. See,
mindset.
so when I made him like you in terms of an idea that you actually resonated with, you realized, oh, he's like you because he also wants to hang around with the Mexicans. But you're not being cognizant of the fact that Muslims feel like that about other Muslims, and black people. It's not just about how the people look; it's about the ideas that they have as well. So like when they see,
It's all about ideas. It's all
Yeah.
about how people look out on the world.
yeah, but why would you want to be alone in this cold world and not around people with similar ideas to you? That's how you really get discriminated against, is if you don't have a group to advocate on your behalf.
I never felt I needed a group.
Yeah, but that's because like you're a white dude, so like
No. If I'm
you're not a
in the Middle
minority.
East all by, I'm a white dude, as you
Yeah.
say, in the Middle East all by myself.
well, if you're in the
Right.
Middle East by yourself, you probably do need a group of people to advocate for you. I was talking about if you're in the UK,
No.
you're the majority.
I,
Right?
I've been to the Middle East for about 3 years by myself.
Yeah, but you
Inside-
wouldn't know whether you need a group to advocate for you until you get into some serious shit. You know what I mean? And
No, I
then
don't
you'd be
need
like,
them. You
then
don't
you'd
need
be
them.
calling the UK embassy like fucking
Because
hell.
because at the end of the day, it's the person you are. If you just go up to people and just mix in with the crowd and mix in with people and talk to the groups, it's fantastic. You don't need to hang around with people.
Yeah, but everything in life is fantastic until you need help. That's the point.
Yeah, but you don't need help.
You always will eventually need help in life, and if you don't have people
No.
that are like-minded around you to be able to support you, you're going to be fucked.
No, you're not.
You can't, mate. It's just the laws of nature. If a deer is, you know, in a herd, it's safer
Why would the people in the Middle East treat me different to their friend?
because you think differently to them, and you have different loyalties and affinities.
No, it's called listening to them. You listen to them.
You
don't put
can
yourself
listen.
above them.
You can listen to
Yeah.
them. That's all well and good. But let me tell you. Let me ask you this. Say you're all friendly with these people. Everything's fine, right? And then one day, a new government comes into power and says, right, and the government's really hostile to immigrants. And you're like, I've been living there for 10 years and everyone's been nice to me. But when the government's hostile to immigrants, they're saying, right, we're going to start deporting, people that come from Britain, for example, right? So if they did that, do you not think that your interactions with people in that place would start to change? And would you not think, oh, it would be good to have people that are in my similar position that would be able to advocate for me and bridge the gap?
No.
So what would you do?
I'll just go with the flow, to be honest. I made so many friends wherever I go, all the different cultures and religions and everywhere. And you are protected by those friends. It doesn't matter color of skin, their religion or anything.
Oh, I'm not saying that you can't be friends with and protected by people and have groups of people with different ethnicities. I'm just talking about the general trend about most people just hang around people that think similar to them. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I actually think that balkanization is really the natural state of the world. And a lot of the things that people are complaining about that are happening in the UK and the USA in terms of immigration, I actually kind of look at it as these countries are kind of reverting back to their natural state, because borders and nation states are inherently unnatural, and you're not going to be able to maintain a border forever. So eventually human beings will go back to their natural state, which is to be in balkanized tribes, and that's just what happens. And then people think, oh, this is the collapse of civilization, but it's just returned to the natural state.
So when are you going to go back to the US then?
I'm hoping to go back in 2010. Well, I'm hoping to move there late next year. But if
What are you gonna be doing?
if I can't meet my deadline, then I'll take another trip there. I've got a business. I do additive manufacturing and 3D modeling. I also want to get speaking engagements, like in terms of speaking about my daughter's story. I'm writing a book as well, and there's an application I want to develop too.
Oh, best of luck.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right. Well, it's been really good speaking to you. I
yeah,
agree with you,
Good
to be
thing
honest.
is just to keep an open mind when you go there, and just to accept everyone. Just listen to them.
I agree with you, but I did think it was dumb what you were saying before about America being racist, and I also think it was dumb when you acted like everyone has no ability
feel
to.
it is. I have relations who are of ethnic minority, and yeah.
Well, you're entitled
That's
to your
all I can
opinion,
say.
mate.
Yeah,
Take care, though. Good
Well,
speaking to you.
They get it all the time. Okay, you take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think America is racist? It probably is, like, just as racist as everywhere else, isn't it? Texas is ass, bro. Both countries suffer with racism. Everywhere is racist. I don't know. I don't think that racism is natural, but I think that it stems from something that's natural. So what's natural is freedom of association, separatism, balkanization, and then racism is basically the frustrated musings of a person that can't have what's natural. Does that make sense? So racism is not really natural because it's kind of just a concept created for people expressing hatred or frustration as a result of not having something that is natural, which is separatist culture, being among their own people. So it kind of makes sense, but it's just expressed in the wrong way when you call it racism. What's up, Mark?
Oh, we're back to the debate of USA and Britain again, are we?
Yeah, my favourite debate. Someone said is having an
not debate.
someone said is having an in-group out-group bias natural. Yes. That there's nothing more natural than that. In fact, that's really how you grow as a human being. You create biases through proximity, and the people that are most likely to be proximate to you in most natural societies would be people that are your family, right? So you then create an inherent bias towards your family. I'll give you an example. Like my little cousin, I remember talking to him when he was like 7, and then he was like, oh, like I went to this school and there was loads of white people there, like everyone was white, and I'm just thinking like, bro, you live in England, like what are you talking about? But then I thought back to when I was in school, and I remember when I first moved to my new primary school and there was all these white people. I was like, what the fuck are there so many white people? So my point is that because I had been around my family so much and been around a certain environment, I didn't even realize I lived in a white country, and neither did my cousin. We didn't realize we lived in a white country until we started exploring. So my point is, your perception, your biases of how a place is are shaped by who you're most close to in your formative years. So yeah, natural in-group and out-group preference biases are natural. What's up, Mark? Sorry.
So, where is your stance on the Equality Act in relation to sexism between the UK and the US?
What do you mean? I mean, do I think that there should be an Equality Act that says that you can't discriminate based on sex?
Well, no, as in, so give you an example. Since the American Foundation from the Declaration of Independence of 1776, I believe American history, from any person in power, they've never had a woman in power, whereas we've had several.
I don't think we should have women in power.
You don't think we should have women? Okay. Please enlighten me as to your opinion on that.
I think that generally speaking, I don't think that women are good leaders.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule, but I mean, if you ask me, like, for example, if you said I want to make a new like technology, and you said pick which race you want, and I had no other information, and it's just like pick which race you want to build this new technology, I would pick white and Asian people. And then if you said like, yeah, if I had to make a new technology, right, and then if like, for example, if there was like, some injustice had happened, pick the people that you want to stand up for you, I'd pick all black people. Like, I think like different types of people have different qualities, and I don't think that leadership is a quality that women are good at, based on my life experience.
So, okay, that's a fair assessment from your experience. So, from that perspective, would it? I don't know how to phrase this statement or question. What are your beliefs on women being fighter pilots?
Women can do whatever they want. I don't want to control women. I just don't believe that, in my life experience, I just don't believe that they're good at certain things. I'm sure that there are great women fighter pilots. I'm sure that there are great women judges. If they want to do that, I'm not. Who am I to tell them what to do? That's their life.
So
I'm just saying I don't think that they're necessarily good at certain things, which is obviously true.
So statistically speaking, they are better fighter pilots than men.
Great.
The only job in question they are not qualified for is submariners, for
that's fine.
Reasons I do not know.
Let them be fighter pilots. I'm not saying it should be illegal. I'm saying I wouldn't want it. So, it should be legal for women to do whatever they want, other than kill the kids in the womb, obviously. But I wouldn't vote for a woman unless she was exceptionally good. Like, I would take into account the fact that she's a woman when I vote for her.
In your opinion, what jobs do you think women should do?
Any job they want. There's a difference between what job that they should do and what jobs that they're best at, right?
Well, yeah, you can say the same thing for men, though.
Yeah, so I think men are best at jobs that require emotional resilience, high stress resistance, linear reasoning and deductive reasoning, and women are best at jobs that require that are not as strict on like having to have linear reasoning to solve problems, and they're best at things that involve basically just fostering a positive environment, like school teachers for children.
Denomination of industries put down to 25% factor to do with one industry women are good at.
Well, that was an example,
Okay.
wasn't it? I'm sure that there are good women scientists. I think scientists, you see a lot of good female biologists. It's a shame about the whole like infiltration of biology with the other crazy ideologies. But yeah, I mean, the real red flag is any woman that thinks that there's no problems with women. That's just weird. You're actually sexist if you think that women have no problems with them. That's weird. That shows that you have a bizarre mindset. Like, if you can't admit that there are, like, that would be like me being like, you know, them people that come on TikTok, they're like, black people are God's chosen people. Like the sun made us and we're special. Like, that's weird. Like, that's a red flag when someone thinks like there's nothing wrong with my type of person. That shows that they're like a psychopathic narcissist. Because they think like, just because I was made this way, that means I'm perfect. So like, if you can't make any criticism of a group of people, like, are you trying to say that that group of people is perfect? Like, what the fuck? So there's nothing bad about women at all. Like, really?
So I'm gonna just go through a list of people here. Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors, so they made basically a Ford company.
Okay.
Jane Fraser of Citigroup, so basically CEO of a bank. Carol B. Toombs, CEO of UPS, the entire parcel delivery system for the USA. Lisa Zhu is CEO of AMD, or the rival to NVIDIA, so she basically runs a tech conglomerate group.
Okay, what's your point?
So I don't understand why America should be so, what is it now, Star-Spangled Awesome, when their Star-Spangled Banner sign is stolen from one of our drinking songs, and they've never had a woman president.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's good that they haven't had a woman president. Maiden Cornwall says, you just said women can't be leaders. You're the red flag all women avoid. So I love doing this on live because every single time I say this, you guys prove why I believe this. So what happens is women can lead. Women can do the same things that men can do in terms of leadership. They can do tasks. They can delegate responsibility. The problem with women leaders is that when you accuse them of doing something wrong or tell them they're wrong or try to hold them accountable, they resist accountability far more than men. They're more easily, and this studies show that women are more easily offended. So because they're easier to offend, it's harder to hold them accountable. And leaders, the ultimate thing to make leaders, the ultimate thing that makes up a good leader is being accountable. And women are less accountable. They're more difficult to hold accountable because they get emotional when you criticize them, like the people in the comments. If you were a rational woman, you would be like, yeah, because you can even do the maths on it. You can be like, okay, a percentage of the month I'm on my period, a percentage of my life I'm pregnant, a percentage of my life like I'm breastfeeding. So even if you just do basic maths, you'll see that 30% of a woman's life, roughly 30% of a woman's life, she's experiencing the types of hormonal changes that will make her more emotional. This is just facts. So to argue that that just has no bearing on her reasoning skills is just ridiculous.
If I may, by that statement, any emotionally, shall we say, unstable woman, by your opinion, would be more likely to trigger a nuclear war?
No, it's not about that. I already said that it's about the accountability side of things. It's about the fact that they're more easily offended.
But you've still got to be accountable when you decide to do things like what George W. Bush did with making Vietnam War or previous wars.
Yeah, just because I don't think women are good in leadership positions doesn't mean I think that all of the men that have been in leadership positions are good. I just think that they have the better traits. See, the problem with the world is you have evil men that are good at what they do, and then you have sometimes good women or just good people in general who are misguided. You know, they say like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So a lot of the female leaders, they're not evil in the way that the evil men are. Like some of these men that run shit, they know what they're doing. They're good at it and they're evil. A lot of the women, they actually mean well, but they're just not good at what they're doing. They're just misguided or misled by a false ideology.
So in your opinion, then, what is a perfect woman?
A perfect woman? That doesn't exist. There's no perfect woman or perfect man.
Well, your definition of one.
How can I give a definition of something that I don't believe exists? I don't think anyone's perfect.
Okay. So
I just think you can look at clusters of behavior.
As leadership for a leadership role as president, what would be your definition of specs for that job?
Well, when I don't vote actually, but I would vote for someone if I did vote based on their actual policy positions. So if you find me a woman that wants to ban abortion, that's a free speech absolutist that wants to bring constitutional carry, bring a UK constitution and have constitutional carry in the UK, that wants to abolish the NHS and largely privatize it and make it a mixed healthcare system, I'd vote for her. But what is the statistical likelihood of somebody suggesting those ideas?
So, by that statement and denomination, every single corporate company ever made would basically run the entire population of anything, and no one would have any actual claim to anything else.
How did you get to that conclusion from what I said?
Because I used to work in corporate, and that's exactly how the fucking bastards work.
But what does that have to do with what I said about? Because you asked me what kind of woman I'd vote
Your
for.
denomination of what person characteristics are was basically someone in question is a corporate cutthroat motherfucker.
How?
Because we can't do this, that, and the other, and by denomination you have then.
I don't understand what anything I said had to do with corporations. Are you arguing that if they abolish the NHS, that corporations would then have significant?
The NHS is completely free. What can you say about medical healthcare?
It's not free, but I don't understand why you're bringing up corporations based on what I said. Anyway, we're kind of going off topic. So,
if you're going to abolish the NHS, by denomination of abolishing the NHS, you have something in question corporate to take over the NHS, correct?
No, not necessarily, because
what would you replace the NHS?
Well, there would be
with?
a diversified healthcare market, so it wouldn't be something necessarily corporate. It'd be a multitude of different healthcare providers, which can be private companies, but corporate. They're not all necessarily corporations. You can have cooperatives.
By denomination, you have corporations in place.
You can also have cooperatives. Like, for example, you could create a company that provides health insurance. So you're not a corporation, but you could build a corporation, or you could build a cooperative, or you could have some kind of family-run business. It would create a marketplace for healthcare insurance,
right.
And then the investment that comes in would allow us to build new hospitals with a distinction, just similar to the USA, with a distinction between state hospitals.
The definition of corporate trading.
No, I'm describing a diversified healthcare market, which I think is what we should have.
Right, okay, so rather than having free healthcare, everyone has to pay for it.
It's not free. We already pay for it.
If you're born in the UK, you are born into a system in question whereby the NHS helps you and provides you with stuff. If you are not born in, you have to pay for the NHS systems as an immigrant, and I would know this because I've had people in question speak to me and tell me how much they pay into it.
No, you pay for the NHS through your taxes, involuntarily.
I'm aware of how tax systems work over here for litigation.
So it's not free.
If you request a doctor's appointment, you don't have to pay a doctor.
No, you have to pay the state through your taxes. But then the doctor gets paid by the state through a trickle down of, the Department of Health and Social Care budget, which then goes to like the ICBs, I think, that gives the trust their budget or whatever. And then when the trust get their budget, then they have payroll.
Very interesting politics that trickles down through financial shit.
So we pay them. Anyway, final thoughts, because I've got a lot of people requesting and I kind of want to move on. And I don't know if you made any like real super coherent points there. There was nothing I can remember that was like...
Obviously, no one, apparently according to yourself, just stating a fact is that apparently women should not be in power.
I think women don't have the kind of traits that... don't typically have the kind of traits that would make them good leaders, yeah.
Well, you got two women now in your group, so that should be a fun one to discuss between two.
Yeah, that'd be good to hear what they have to say. I don't think most women think that women make better leaders either. It's just they don't like it when men say it.
Women are shit.
Here's me trying to defend women. Oh no, women are shit. Okay.
Why do you think that?
Margaret Thatcher effed up the country. That Theresa, what's her name, effed up the country. You know what? Men at least sit down and talk about it. Us women go, oh no, I'm not talking to you, and rah.
Yeah, women always tone police, and then they pretend. See, the thing that I don't understand is women do shit, and then when you say what they do, they get mad. It's like, I'm telling you what you do. Like, if you say anything to a girl and they don't like how you said it, they're like, oh, I just didn't like the way you say it. That's like 90% of them. And then they pretend like, oh, why are you saying that I don't take criticism well? Because every time you say something to them, they address how you said it instead of what you said.
Yeah, and we don't take accountability for the fact that we're in the wrong. We'd rather fight that, yeah, we're right, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Every time a girl's wrong, they never want to admit. It takes like my girl's good for this. Like, she's good at admitting when she's wrong, but she still takes ages, bro.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be like sort of, I didn't do it wrong, I didn't say nothing wrong, and then about 3 hours later, oh, shit, I'm sorry.
I don't even understand why they do. To be fair, most men don't admit when they're wrong either, but women are like really bad for it.
Yeah, but
I can't
women
imagine like having
recognise
someone
when
like that in
we're
charge
wrong.
of my life. Like, that's just terrible, bro. Anyway, yeah, let's debate about the topic at hand because people are going to start getting butthurt.
Oh, yeah, and the about the health system and that. Like, crikey Mikey, in America, you've got to pay if you need to go to the A&E. It's sad.
Why is that sad?
Because we get it free over here. Like they should at least have something for their work, and that, like, what do they pay taxes? I don't know.
About 65% of them have private insurance, and then about 30% of them, about 60% of them have private insurance, about 30% of them have Medicaid or Medicare. So they just have a bigger private health insurance market. And you just pay it, like, it's kind of like how you pay taxes. Like, you just pay your bill monthly, and then when you want to get something, sometimes you have to pay out-of-pocket expenses, or you have a deductible that you have to have paid before they cover the rest of your expenses. But generally speaking, the healthcare costs, I actually do the maths on this all the time. If you add it all up, UK citizens are paying about 10% of their salary, 8 to 10% of their salary on healthcare, and US citizens are paying about between 8 and 14% of their salary on healthcare. So it's roughly the same percentage of the salary on average that the citizens pay towards their healthcare, when you actually factor in wages, affordability, and also Americans get better bang for their buck as well. They get a better system for what they're paying.
Despite the fact that they had the opioid crisis caused by Purdue Pharma.
The Sackler family. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's a point. Picking Purdue Pharma, we will make heroin, wrap it in sugar, and call it OxyContin as a painkiller.
Yeah.
Who the hell thinks that was a good idea?
Well, I'm not pro the medical system and the pharmaceutical companies. I'm talking about purely the system of administration of healthcare, meaning whether it's a private or mixed system. I'm talking about how the system is funded and operated. I'm not talking about the criminal mafias that exist in healthcare, because I know that they exist, and that's what pretty much my whole page is about.
Well, yeah, but FDA is Food and Drug Administration. You're mixing both together and you're calling it a group organization, whereas we don't have that. We have separate things to separate food and drugs.
I think you're conflating two things, which is my position on being against pharmaceutical companies and my position on how a healthcare system should be run. There are pharmaceutical cartels in the UK and in the USA, but they both have different systems of administration. I'm talking about the systems of administration, not the shit that the criminals in those systems do. Because in reality, if I run the healthcare system, not only would I privatize the NHS and make it a mixed healthcare system, I would also bring in the death penalty for covering up deaths. So I would do a lot of different changes that would address not just how the system is run, but also the criminals that exist within the system.
I stated FDA. That has nothing to do with anything related to us, because they have all their food and drug put into one administration company. We don't.
Okay, but that's government admin, right? So that's separate from how the healthcare system is funded and run. That's more about food regulation, food and drug regulation.
It's run by the FDA. Ours is not run by the same thing. So if they run out of insurance, they've got to cop out for the medical or whatever it is they need, whether it's giving birth to a child or that out of pocket.
I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
We have that for free.
We don't have it for free. I already addressed that. We pay taxes for it.
Right. Okay. Put it to a different way. There are women on TikTok that will happily say, I gave birth and here's my itemized list bill that I got given. My daughter was given to me from my wife, and funnily enough, I didn't receive any bill for that. It was a case of...
most of those women are content farming you, because they know that Europeans are gullible, so they're just posting a bill and not showing that the fact that the insurance company paid 75% of it, and then they also... don't include the fact that they might have been paying X amount per month for their healthcare, and then this is the bill, or that they didn't have insurance in the first place. So they usually don't give you the full picture. That's why the best statistic to use is what is the average American paying for healthcare compared to what they're earning. And when you do those numbers, Americans are paying about 12%, UK citizens are paying about 10% of their salary towards healthcare. That's really the difference. Anytime you start talking about individual itemized bills, that's just ridiculous, because those are just anomalous, like, values. Like, we can't see what the actual trend is for everyone, because someone's not going to come online and be like, I just pay $400 a month for healthcare for me and my wife, and I'm fine and I have no medical. They're not going to say that.
Yeah,
right?
But my point is, who over here, like, if you're over here, do you physically have insurance for a medical thing, or do you just pay the taxes and then go with the flow? They actually have to physically pay for insurance.
I mean, I wouldn't have insurance I'm not going to have insurance when I live in the USA. I'd rather take the debt.
You'd rather take the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather take the debt. It's mathematically superior to take the debt. And it's also mathematically superior to just have a savings fund and take the debt. So then when you need to pay for anything up front, you got a savings fund. And when you need to pay for something that you can't pay for, you take on debt. That makes more sense than to pay.
Is that what they call, like, the health policy thing?
Well, I'm just talking about whether it would make more sense to do that than to pay an insurance company, because the insurance company is going to take a little bit of profit off of it.
Right, okay, so this is just off Google, just for the sake of it. You need a bone marrow transplant approaching $675,000. That's one of the second cheapest things they've got. Intestine, heart, and lung transplant and heart transplant are over $1 million. You want to take $1 million debt because you need an organ?
The likelihood of me needing that is very rare, one. And two, most people in the NHS that need those things, the NHS will just let them die. So,
or if you get a cerebral donor who's already brain dead, technically speaking, you've got an organ harvest.
The difference in the healthcare system is seen primarily in the actual quality of healthcare provision. The quality of healthcare in the UK is absolutely dog shit, right? So it's just like, what do you want to trade? The 2% difference in how much you're paying, or the fact that you might need a treatment that is not even available in the UK, or you might need a treatment, like, it makes more sense to take on debt than to play with your life and your health.
If I really wanted the best healthcare ever in the world, I'd not go to the UK, and I'd sure as shit not go to the US.
Where would you go?
Fucking Switzerland, because they authorise euthanasia in the event that you require
Oh,
it.
Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, well, it depends what you need, because I can guarantee you that there's a lot of treatments in Europe that the doctor will actually tell you need to go to the USA if you want this treatment. So even the doctors know that the best treatment is available in the USA.
He's just said about euthanasia. I mean, you can do that for nothing over here. I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah, but you can legally do it over there, and you can have a...
Imagine being concerned about what's legal and what's not when you're about to unalive yourself. That's insane, man.
Yeah,
we are so
it's like,
brainwashed, bro.
Will I get done for URDR if I
I'm gonna unalive myself, but I have to do it legally. In your last, like, breath, you're thinking about the government. This is how cucked UK citizens are. In your very last breath, you're like, I'm gonna unalive myself, but I have to do it legally. So let me go to...
How much will I pay for this treatment?
You don't pay for it.
I have to do it legally. Oh my god.
You don't pay for it. I had a former mentor go to Switzerland for it, because he was already on death row.
Nico, why do you keep spamming "you are wrong"? It's actually starting to piss me off. Like, I'm getting triggered today. The reason... I forgot, bro, because I don't know if anyone saw me on Steps Debates live earlier and I was shouting like fuck. The reason I'm getting triggered today is because I lost my vape yesterday. So, like, I'm trying to be like, okay, just don't vape, because, like, you vape so fucking much. So I'm just like, cool.
USA is better than me.
I'm just like, cool. I'm just not gonna vape. But now it's like getting me stressed out, bro. Like, because I'm
grab the
I'm
top of your ears and go woosah.
because doing it is legally is safer than trying to take it.
I'm sorry,
Brother,
Mark, but that was
go to Liverpool and get yourself a spinner. Or just jump off a building, allegedly. Actually, no, I don't need.
Yeah, but you might need someone to save you at the bottom.
If you can't unalive yourself, bruv, I don't know, man. You really are a failure. Maybe that's a good idea for you to do because you fucked up at everything in life. You can't even do. God damn.
You can't even do that.
God damn. They where I'm from in Archer, there used to be a place called S-Eyed Bridge. Apparently, people used to go on that bridge and just.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. Oh shit! What's happened?
I mean, you don't need to get in line. You just jump, innit? I'm not being horrible.
Let's change the topic before I get banned. So TikTok guy says how.
Anyway, so yeah, like, I think the Americans are politer than the English.
Are they?
The ones that I talk to
Hey
on TikTok
man, that's not cool, man. Please say please and thank you, bro.
the one
What?
thing
What's
that, the one
supposed to
thing
be?
that cracks me up is I'm not allowed to say I'm going for a fag because they go, what?
What, dude? Dude,
Yeah, what, bro?
what did you just say, bro?
Yeah, but they also like
I'm going for a fag.
they run the customers for customer service. It's kind of scarily efficient. That's the only thing I've got as a good praise for them.
Yeah, because they're hustling for the shekels. They need the tips.
Yeah, who the hell needs to do that? Like, please, sir, can I have some more? What?
The customer service in this is the customer service in the UK. No, sir, sorry, I don't have that thing that you said you wanted.
I'm very sorry.
Very sorry, sir.
And you call Just Eat for something to eat. It's normally a Chinese, an Italian.
Hello, I don't take what you want today. Yeah, can I get the special fried rice? You say you want special fried rice? No, to be fair, those are the best like experiences in the UK. Really good, like, because that's where you like get. I don't know. Those people are like super down to earth. I prefer dealing with like everyday people in the UK, than like the posh cunts. Nico says, "Oh, racist." How is that racist? Was it racist?
Not being racist.
It's an accent, bro.
That's what British culture's like.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What's the crux of this comparison that you're doing?
Oh, I'm advocating for people in the UK to move to the USA. I think it's a better place with more opportunity and citizens will have more rights. And I'm also advocating for the UK to adopt a lot of the laws and systems that the US has because I think it'll make the country better.
So
I want to carry a
instead of promoting people moving, why not just make UK better?
I'm promoting both, but I don't think I have the power to make the UK better because, unfortunately, most people in the UK don't think like me. And that's okay.
Yeah, but even the people in power in the UK, they can't make the UK better.
Yeah.
So
why not?
What if we do or fuck if we don't?
I think it's because the system is too entrenched here. So it's like you'd have to change systems that are very embedded in how the country runs. And remember, like, a lot of the UK is owned by private landowners and they have this shit like passed down generation to generation. So the same with the ideas about how like government should control people and stuff, it's been passed down through people like that for generations and generations. Like, you can't just change that shit in one day.
Right. So it sounds like y'all have given up. I guess, is that the reason why there's so much negative rhetoric when it comes from the UK towards America then?
Yeah, they're jealous, basically. They're jealous and ignorant of the fact that America's better, which is why I'm trying to enlighten them. I'm like a messianic figure. I'm a messianic figure. I have come to you, UK citizens. Nico, how are you going to call me racist?
I'd rather live in America.
Nico, you do realize it's racist.
Not, but...
Nico, you realize it's racist to suggest that I'm racist for doing an accent because you're implying that everybody who has an accent, it must be the same race. You're racist.
Yes.
You're implying that everybody who has that accent must be of one race.
So everyone in question that's ever tried doing an accent is therefore deemed racist.
Exactly.
Okay.
He didn't say it when I did. It's because I did. It's because I did it too good. He didn't say it when I did the
in
American
America,
one.
we would look at you the same way.
He didn't say it when I did the American. When I was like, "Hey, dude, can you? I'm trying to drive my car, bro. What the hell?" When I did that one, he didn't care. But when I did that, no, sorry, sir.
What you said is racist, not your accent. Okay, so we're not doing it by accent, we're doing it by statement.
Yeah, if you come to America, people gonna put you in your place for doing that.
Ain't no way any motherfucker gonna put me in my motherfucking place if I come to America, ninja.
I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass.
I'm gonna pop a cap in your motherfucking ass.
Because they're allowed to.
Oh man! Oh no! The two most sensitive people in who's the most sensitive people in the world? I think it's British white women and Black Americans. Everything
Fuck yeah.
gets them, bro. Everything gets them so butthurt.
Why?
I don't know. Like you just
Well,
said,
white women just can't handle anything.
white British women are like all Karens, and then Black Americans are like they just get butthurt over like words and shit. Like if you say anything, that's racist,
what?
mate.
Give me an example.
Economically and militarily from TikTok guy. I
Give
think
an
you're finding
example.
mistaken because the US got trained by the UK military.
Well, in some
I've got
niche.
to disagree there. Like white women in England, we're like, oh my god, I think you won't roll up. But over in America, the American ladies are strong. They say what they mean, and they they're pretty much right.
I actually
That's
really
so
like.
weird.
I really like Black American women because they like about their
Neither
business,
do
but
I.
they are really easily offended though.
And give me an
I like the
example.
fact that they carry weapons, huh?
I mean, all Americans carry weapons, but give me an example.
Oh, an example of what?
Us English carry weapons, they just don't know about it.
No, but it's like it's a whole different level. Like in the South, it's stand your ground, which means you can step on my property and I have every right to put you down.
Yeah, every girl I met in New York had
Literally
straps
what?
and
Step on
knives.
property as in the garden or just in the house?
No, like you step on my lawn, I can claim you're an intruder and put you down.
Technically, I mean it's a bit more nuanced than that.
No, not
She's
technically.
protecting her
That's a
property.
categorical fact. What she's just
No, but
saying.
it
If I
it
went to the
depends.
foot of her
It
lawn,
depends
she
on
could
the.
shoot me in the head.
Yeah, but it depends on the perceived intent. It's not as cut and dry as that. I think you have to give
I mean,
a warning
it's
as
not
well.
cut
in
and
some
dry,
cases.
but there are people that have gotten away with stand your ground over things that are more petty than that.
You can't do it just for your lawn. But yeah, I think you asked me
no,
about
because she's just stated.
How are you
She's
gonna
just
tell me?
stated that.
But okay.
because I know more than a lot of Americans about how some of the laws work. Because a lot of you guys don't even travel state to state. So like, what? Tell me what state you can just shoot someone for putting their foot on your lawn.
Tell me what?
Tell me what state
Tell you what state
you can
do
shoot
that
someone for putting
particular
their foot on
statement
your
in.
lawn.
And you'll put a law?
You
New
said
York,
that
I
if
guess?
someone puts their foot on your lawn, you can shoot them. Tell me what state that's in.
Oh, the foot on the lawn. Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Nice, get me
I
there.
don't believe that's correct.
That's how you type? Jesus.
Damn, he's got nice fast fingers. Hello.
Magic fingers, baby girl.
But yeah, you never gave an example when it came to Black Americans, only white women.
Oh, the fact that I just did, no, sir, thank you very much, sir. And then you said someone will put you in your place if you did that in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all
Yeah,
the
you got
white
offended.
people in the chat went,
I
oh,
didn't get
no, they're
offended.
racist.
I'm calling out the ignorance in what you did.
You getting
It's
offended.
not- I didn't get offended.
How is it ignorant
That's
to
not
do
my
an
ethnic group.
Tell me
How
how
is
it's
it
ignorant
ignorant?
to do an accent.
That's not my ethnic group, so I'm not getting offended. I'm just speaking out for someone of that ethnic group. If you were to just do that out in public, yeah, they're gonna look at you sideways.
Nah, they won't, bro.
Very
They'll just
sorry.
laugh. It's because you think they'll look at it like that. Because if someone did about black people, you get butthurt. They would just laugh.
No. Well, where are you from?
Indians wouldn't care if I did that. I'm from London.
No, but like, where are you really from?
My family. Well, I'm from London, but my family's from Nigeria.
Okay. This makes a lot of sense.
Why does it make a lot of sense? Did the
don't know.
Nigerians did the Nigerians make you butthurt as well? Oh yeah, because I see you guys
No.
I see you guys on TikTok a lot, on Twitter and stuff, and you're like, the FBAs, man, we don't like the Africans coming over here. You guys get butthurt easy,
No,
man.
it's just very interesting when you move to Britain and you almost take on the Britain. I don't know. It's very weird.
Nah, bro, you're just
because-
reaching, bro. It's just banter.
No, like it's
No.
very weird.
No,
how you
it's just
take
banter.
on the-
That's it.
Dizzy,
You just getting
shut your
butthurt, bro.
mouth,
British.
Banter. That's it. Like nothing. It's not complicated. You're like, no, you took the
Persona,
British persona because the colonization and then the slavery did the
epitome.
that. No, bro, it's just banter. That's it. It's just
Right.
You're not
I'm
British
sorry, I'm going to
though.
answer
By
someone in the
like,
comments a minute.
blood.
No, Dizzy, I haven't got a problem with him being Nigerian, you damn twat.
Oh, someone said Arizona. That apparently you can shoot someone standing on your lawn. Let's see.
Right. So states
No,
which
it says no.
explicitly states which
it's not
explicitly-
explicitly stand on your lawn.
Yeah.
Like that's not. It's not like that. I'm talking about when you are on someone else's property, right? Like there was a young boy who accidentally rang the doorbell of the wrong house. The man came out, pewed him.
Oh yeah, I saw.
And it was and the fact that people are debating on whether he has the right, that's what I'm speaking to in regards to, like, it's a different level.
But it says here that deadly force is only justified if a reasonable person would believe it's immediately necessary to protect against an attacker's use of unlawful deadly force or to prevent serious bodily harm. Merely standing on the lawn does not constitute an immediate physical threat. So they have to essentially pose a
obviously
threat.
it's not just stepping on lawn. I know, but people can say, you can ring the doorbell and someone could say, I felt threatened.
Yeah, but
that's
a
what I'm saying.
reasonable
Like,
person or a reasonable juror would not say
but
that that's
talking
an
about
objective
reasonableness.
But
You're talking about reasonableness.
It is about reasonableness, yeah. That's the crux of the matter.
But when you factor in racism as well, that's where that reasonableness goes out the window.
So you think that a racist will allow someone, it will go on a jury and then say not guilty to someone who shot someone for ringing their doorbell?
Yeah.
That's pretty delusional, bro.
I think you're delusional, but then again, you're a Nigerian living.
Oh, the butthurt black Americans coming out of her. I knew you couldn't hold it in for too long.
So
I'm not butthurt.
You are
thing
butthurt.
that she mentioned is actually valid in 38 states in the US. 38 states where you can say you're a threat to me, bang.
No, you can't just say you're a threat to me, bang. You'd have to convince a jury that you were reasonably in fear of serious bodily harm, which is the standard it should be. Castle doctrine everywhere, stand your ground laws universally. American imperialist, please invade every country and give us all stand your ground laws, castle doctrine 2A and the First Amendment. America, fuck yeah. Here to save the motherfucking day, America, fuck yeah. Freedom is the only way.
Were you born in Britain? Or did you move there, like when you were younger?
Nah, I was born in the UK. Terrorist, your game is through. So now you have to listen to America.
Do you like it better than Nigeria?
I've never been to Nigeria. I've never been to Nigeria. Do you know why I've never been? Because they actually just live in huts. They live in huts and they go. They crack coconuts on their head.
Like, even like other than being taken over.
Huh?
What? Eh? How was the UK being taken over? We're not at war.
Yeah, y'all definitely different over there.
Yeah,
I know you guys don't know what Americans don't know what banter is. When you see an American comedian, this is what they be like. They be like,
Americans.
they be like this is what American comedians like. So why do white people do this, man? Have you ever seen it? When you go in the shopping mall and the white boy does this? That's what the American comedians are like. Y'all never seen a black man do this?
Americans don't understand what play fighting is.
That'd be like boring.
They got shit banter, bruv. They got shit banter. And they don't understand sarcasm.
Want to
like,
share this live to some of the Nigerian Americans?
Share it.
They
and have you redo what you just did.
They're gonna laugh. Every single time I see an American comedian, they're like, no, they're either like, why do white people do this? Or they're like, so apparently you're not allowed to say the N-word, bro. I don't know why do black people do this, bro? Yeah, so black people and white people. That's what their whole comedy is just always about.
Why aren't white people allowed to use the N-word?
Hey man, I'm just a comedian,
black.
man. I'm just edgy, man. So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
Because
but
it was
I saw black
endearment
dude the
of
other day.
slavery and slave trade.
Said I can't say the N-word.
We can't go, yo, what up? Is it?
any white person that
Even
doesn't
though
say
it's
the
a
N-word is a
compliment.
pussy, bro.
Technically speaking, it's not.
Why would you?
So, host, do you ever intend on going to Nigeria or visiting or
I might do.
going back?
I'm not in any rush. I'm not
I'll go to America.
I'm not a nationalist, so I don't really care about, like, I don't look at it like this is my country, so I have to have like some like affinity to it. I don't think like that. So I don't know what I would do. I mean, I've got land in Nigeria, so I would go to like check out my land, but you know, like there's a lot of political instability there, and like people get kidnapped and shit. So yeah.
Were you
There's,
part
there's
of?
some-
I don't know
there's
if
some
farming
people
is a
that have kidnapped
derogatory word, but were you part of like the farming thing?
What farming thing?
Someone mentioned like in the UK there's like farming where like there's Nigerians that are like brought to like white families or other families in the UK to be raised.
Ain't nothing wrong
Oh.
with farming.
Kind of like adopting, I guess.
Oh, I know what you mean, but no, I'm not part of that. My grandmother moved to the UK. My grandma and grandpa moved to the UK, and then my mum was born in the UK, and my dad moved to the UK when he was like 26 or something, or 25, and he's like 70 now.
So is it wrong to be a farmer in the UK then?
No, if she was talking about something else. She was talking about like people like who live in other countries like Nigeria, and then they like pretend like, oh, like I'm going over here to do this thing, but then they really just drop their kids off to like live with another family to be raised in the UK, and then it's like they have like auntie, uncle, like they like tell them what to do, and then pretend like they're their parents, but really like it's just a way to get their kids into the UK. It's a thing. I mean, they do that with like Indian culture as well, and like Pakistanis.
I was going to say, we got people coming over on boats, like, you know.
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, they don't do
To be
any
fair, Jazz got a
farming.
point. You get people over in boats, you don't get dinghies flying to fucking US.
No, you just get like you get Mexicans on the border trafficking humans across. That's how they do it.
I want to debate mushy noise.
Bro, Kim just yapping. Can we get someone other than these three? Oh, sorry guys, you guys. If you do regard this, if you do me a heart me, then I'll drop these motherfuckers off. I'm dropping all of y'all. Oh y'all motherfuckers.
You cheeky fucker, I don't get loon.
Oh y'all motherfuckers. I'm dropping all y'all motherfuckers.
What y'all saying?
So, whereabouts do you live then, Kim?
Okay, final
I live
thoughts,
in
guys.
America.
Because I got heartbeat.
Which state?
Yeah, what state?
Oh, right
Georgia.
now it's Georgia. I'm from New York.
I can always tell.
How can you tell?
Because I literally speak to hundreds of people on this live like every week. Like I do this live like so often that I just can just tell where people are from. Like,
Well, the thing is, I'm grew up in New York, so that's why I'm like. I mean, I think you just guessed based on probability. But
I mean, that's a 1 in
I'm
50
New York.
chance though. So, you know,
No, it's not.
What's an FBA?
bro, give credit where credit's due. I literally guessed your state like that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no actual basis on you
Do you
getting
want-
it
do you want
right
me
outside
to-
of just guessing.
No, do you want me to tell you what the basis was? So first of all, you're
Okay,
black,
what's the
and
basis?
there's a lot of black people that live in Atlanta, Georgia. There's also a growing trend of a lot of people moving from New York out of state because of the higher cost of living, and they move to places like Atlanta. And then because of how you responded when I talked about race, Atlanta has a large population of liberals who practice intersectionalism, so they kind of believe like, oh, I should call out people being discriminatory and stuff where they see it. Like I've spoken to a lot of different types of people, so I could sense that you were like probably like an Atlanta kind of liberal.
No, actually, those are more so in the North, Cali, and New York, or those are the ones that are really liberal.
No, but there's also a type of black liberal in Atlanta, and they're more of like a grassroots type of liberal, where they're not more into the whole like ideology that they have in like California. There's different types of liberal. There's also the black liberals, which they're more like based on union and labor movements and stuff like that, and they have like a big union culture in Atlanta. So I could tell that that's the kind of culture that. So are you a liberal that lives in the Atlanta suburbs?
No, I'm not loyal to any sort of.
But
party
you live in the
whatsoever.
Atlanta suburbs, right?
No.
Okay, but you live near Atlanta.
That's like asking if she's Jenny from the block.
Okay, do you live in the Atlanta metropolitan area?
Is you from the ghetto or
No.
the suburbs?
Oh, so you don't live in Atlanta?
No.
Okay, let me guess somewhere else.
The Bronx.
Savannah.
No.
Ohio.
It's on the outskirts, but
It's on the
not
outskirts of Atlanta. Bro, what the hell? That's what I'm saying. You live in the Atlanta suburbs.
I guess. I don't know.
You're
I'm
just
new
too mad
here.
because I'm clacking your tea, baby.
No, I
I'm
mean, I'm
cracking
new
up.
here, so I don't really consider suburbs as a bit
I have
subjective.
got to say,
It is
though,
the
for an
suburbs.
American lady, she sounds intelligent.
You live in like Marietta, right?
Mm-mm.
No, you live. What's that
I'm not
place
telling
called?
my city on here.
No, I know the place you
But
live.
it's
I'm trying to
wrong.
remember where it is. It's like a. Where did Migos live again? I promise I'm not going to search the actual thing. I'm just going to search where did Migos live on. Where are Migos from? Hold on. This is where you live. I know. Wait, hold up. Lawrenceville, Georgia. Oh, yeah. Gwinnett County. Are you in Gwinnett County?
I don't think so. I like I said, I'm new here, so I really don't have a good idea from counties, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay, let me guess.
I'm from New York.
Let me guess what you do for work. Okay, hold on.
You sound like a nurse.
Well, she could be a nurse.
Absolutely not.
I feel like you work for. Do you work for the federal government?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay, I flopped. Do you work?
IT
okay.
and business.
Okay, fair enough. I knew you'd be like a professional for sure. But, you know, most female professionals that are like in high paying jobs that are from New York, they tend to work for the government. But they have really good salaries and benefits, so it's not like a bad job. They have really good jobs. But you get a lot of like black professionals
you're a data analyst?
in New York. No, I just don't have a job, so I just spend all my time like.
No, I'm on about Kim.
Oh, her shit.
No, I'm not.
You mentioned tech. I assume data analyst or something similar.
Their guy says she's from Athens,
They don't
Georgia.
pay
And
enough
she's an
for me.
educator. She works in the school system. Really?
No, I can't deal with kids. Kids that are not my own, I'll say.
You should have kids. How old are you?
26.
TikTok, baby. Legendary Cheese Wizard says, "Yep, guns and AC keep us on top." AC and guns, man. You gotta love it. I can't lie, yeah. When I was feeding I went to Arizona back in 2020 or 2021, and I was like walking around in Scottsdale and like just Phoenix Metro and that. And I was like, bro, this place is like, because I had this whole idealized version of what Arizona was like, and I was like, this is kind of stressful, like, bro. But I was only there for like 4 days or something, yeah. And then like,
why'd you go to Arizona?
Because basically, I've been wanting to move to America for years, but then I had twins, and then anyway, it's a long story, but basically, I got into bare legal issues in the UK, and it's kept me like trapped in the UK. But basically, I always wanted to move to America anyway, so I was like scoping out Arizona, like, because at the time I thought like this is the place where I'm gonna move to, yeah. But then basically when I came back to America, obviously I'm a bit older now, so I've got more bread, yeah. So then I've literally got a car now, and the difference is like night and day. When I was in Arizona, brother, I was sweating, my neck was burnt, I was walking everywhere, my legs, by the time I get somewhere, my legs are tired. Bro, when I was driving around America in a car, I felt like I was a movie star, bro. Every single place I pop out is hot, everything's just on point, the AC like just fresh, like what's it called?
Yeah, why
Chevy
don't y'all
Tahoe.
have AC? I don't get that. Why do people not like AC?
Not that we don't like it, it's that the infrastructure in question can't support it. We can barely support electricity.
Really?
Bro, I'm
We
telling
got
you,
electric cars and we're running at 1% just under the freaking power limit, so yeah.
people in the UK are way more broke than like it seems. Like, I promise you.
And we don't get enough hot weather for it, really.
Yeah, and we don't get enough hot weather for it.
Well, host,
that-
do you like being around other Nigerians? There's a lot in Houston.
I know I got family in Houston. I know
God bless
there's a
Houston.
lot of Igbos in Houston, but I don't want to move. I don't want to move to Texas because it's too hot and it's just too inland, and I want to be in the southeastern United States. I've narrowed it down already. I know my 3 options is either. Well, I've got 4 options. I've narrowed it down to. It's going to be Florida's number 1 so far. So Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. Those are the only.
I think you should go
options.
to Florida, specifically South Florida.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm aiming for. I don't know if I'll do South Florida or if I'll do
Don't go to Carolinas. There's nothing
Yeah.
out there.
I mean
Wait a
Charlotte's
second.
right. I was thinking, what's that place called? Naples or Jacksonville, or I've been Tampa Bay, but I don't know, maybe somewhere different than that.
No, go to
Boca
Miami.
St.
Boca
Augustine,
Raton.
Boca
I'm
Raton,
305 Miami-Dade
places like that.
right here.
Jeez.
Boca Raton.
305,
go to Florida.
305 is stand up. I've been to Fort Lauderdale, but yeah, I would go to Miami once I get my money up. But I don't need to be in an expensive place to run the business that I'm running. So what I would just do is once my business starts doing well, then I'll just fucking move to Miami if I feel like, yeah, this is the move. But I got kids as well, so you don't really want to be raising a family in like Miami, maybe Fort Lauderdale. I'd do for sure.
You can live on the outskirts.
Yeah, like Fort Lauderdale.
Kendall Lakes. You got Kendall Lakes in Miami. Great place for families.
So wait, would you recommend to move to Miami then? Yeah, you think that it's a good place for?
It's not going to be. I mean, it depends on the financial status. I'm not judging anybody, but it's not the cheapest place to live on the outskirts of Miami. Kendall Lakes.
I feel like Miami is
It's
the better
very
place
expensive.
for those who immigrate to America.
You said
I
what?
would come to Houston, bro. It's cheap. You can still get land for $10,000 an acre. It might be like 45 minutes outside of Houston, but it's still land for $10,000-15,000 an acre.
Yeah.
You get you a double wide out there. You get you a mobile home. You're ready to go, bro. Under $1,000K, bro.
No, I know, because Houston was my first actual choice. So my first ever place I was gonna move was Houston. Then I changed it to Arizona, and then now I'm looking more southeastern United States. But I know like they have like Sugarland and Woodlands and
Well, the lady earlier said a Nigerian population. I'm guessing you're Nigerian, sir?
yeah.
Oh, Nigerians run this city, man. They're everywhere, dude. They're my best tippers. They're my best clients, dude. Be
Yeah,
honest with
they're
you,
a
man.
lot.
It's
They're
great
all
community here.
they're Igbos. That's why, because that's what I'm Igbo in it. So Igbos are like quite like this is like stereotypes, obviously, but they're known for being like a little bit hard headed, and then like very entrepreneurial, and usually like read basically. Not all of them,
yes,
but this
sir,
is the
they're
type
hard-headed. They're
of
great,
person that you experience as an immigrant in the UK or USA. They'll be like a hard headed person that's relatively like fair, but also like very, very business oriented type shit. Bro said this is dragging. Get the fuck off my live then, bro. Man said it's dragging.
So,
Listen,
him and their guy been in US for like all your life, or?
Bro, I'm
Oh,
not.
basically,
Sorry,
my family migrated from Spain. I was a little boy. I was 5 or 6 when my parents wanted to come to America. And I've been in Florida and Houston my whole life.
Yes, boy. How old are you, bro?
40.
How old am I? I'm 22.
All right. So, what do you want to debate about?
Okay, so what would you frame as your main argument for the US being better than the UK? Are you saying completely in general, or is it a specific thing you're talking about?
I'm saying overall and in general, and then I can also name specific things. But the main thing for me is the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. That is the fundamental basis for everything else.
Second Amendment, let's hear it, man. Well, what's your argument for the Second Amendment?
My argument is that any state that prevents its citizens from having from defending itself is a tyranny, and the most effective self-defense weapon is a gun.
Okay, no, I would agree with you there. But here's the issue, because the Second Amendment obviously perpetrates the infrastructure for a colossal money-making machine of making firearms and ammunition. So,
Yeah.
we're in the year 2026. What would you say the main cause of death for American children is?
Probably gun violence,
Sugar.
but it depends on the year, and it depends on what you designate
It is
as.
gun violence, and it's
Sugar,
been gun
dude.
violence for a very long time. It's gun violence.
Do you know? Do you know why? Do you know? I mean,
America's had?
let's assume that it's gun violence. Do you know why it's gun violence?
No. Sorry. We're not assuming. That is a fact.
No, I
It is
said
a
let's
fact that
assume
it's
because
gun violence.
I don't have the statistics, so that's why I'm granting you. Let's assume that it's gun violence. I'm
But,
asking
How many
you.
people live in this
No,
country?
I'm not disputing.
Fine.
Bro,
many
I'm
people
not.
live in
Hold
this
on. I'm
Guys,
not.
calm down.
The whole point is.
How many
Wait,
people live in this country?
bro. Let me respond. I'm not disputing it. That's the whole point of why I said let's assume, because I'm saying for the purposes of argument, let's assume that is. Do you know why that is?
Why is
Because
the highest cause
because
of
the
death?
assumption is that you're saying guns are bad because the highest cause of death for children is gun violence, but children
Well,
are
no, I know
extremely
the main
unlikely
reason
to
is
die.
suicide.
No, but
here it's not.
but children are extremely unlikely to die. That's why they're extremely unlikely to die of disease.
Yeah.
So what else would kill them?
But they're still likely. It's the leading cause of death.
But what else would kill them?
It's not likely for the individual, but it's likely for the population.
What else would unalive them? Like what would be a normal thing?
Car
A
crashes?
disease.
But that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Disease is extremely rare in young adults. That's the point. So obviously, there's not that many things that are going to unalive them. So that statistic is misleading. It makes it seem like this is a genuine
The
existential threat to
statistics are
them.
based on gangbangers.
What's the highest in
Juvenile
the UK?
gangbangers. It's
What's the
based on
highest in the UK?
gangbangers. What are you talking about? It's based
the
on
highest in the
gangbangers.
UK is birth.
You guys don't even live in the
issues with
States, and you
birth.
keep talking over me like you fucking know what's going on over here.
Bro, stop getting
You
triggered,
fucking
man.
British.
Chill.
Let me
Calm
tell you
down.
what, the kids have guns here. Every kid
Get
has a
angry as
gun.
hell.
Every high schooler has a gun. And you guys want to talk about this, bro.
Yes, that's the issue I'm talking about. They shouldn't have access to those without... Because I don't disagree with owning guns. I myself, in England, own a gun. But I don't disagree with owning weapons. I mean, the Second Amendment in premise is a very good idea. I do agree that to stop a tyrannical government, you do need an armed populace. But the problem is that the stages of how you acquire a gun are very, very... They're not in-depth enough. There should be a
We buy 'em
psychological
on the streets,
evaluation.
bro.
There should be far more in-depth, and there should be far more in-depth sort of like... You know what I'm getting at? You know what I'm getting at? I can't word it
So-
right
so
now, but
do you-
know what
do
I'm
you
Listen,
think-
say, you know how many
going
guns are
towards.
unaccounted for in America?
Yeah,
Do you all
exactly.
know how many guns are unaccounted for in America? Millions. And this guy from Britain wants to say that gun violence is number one. It's too late.
Do you
The
understand?
Guns are everywhere, bro.
Do you understand the
What are you talking
logistics?
about, dude?
So just because it's too late, that means we should give up then. There's
No,
no
but
point in
EMP.
trying
The
to
problem
manage
is
it.
that in order to solve that logistical nightmare, you would need a tyrannical government, thereby creating the
So
exact
you need
thing
a
that
communist government.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
A tyrannical government would. A tyrannical government
A
is when
communist
a government
country.
decides to
Shut
stop.
up. It's called communism.
No, no.
Stop making up words.
No. But what I'm
happened
saying,
in
chill
Venezuela.
out there,
Listen,
guy,
it
man. We're
happened
having
in
wait, bro. We're
Venezuela.
having a
Chill
normal
this guy
conversation,
out.
bro, and you're just
Yeah,
shouting
Jesus. Come
for
on,
no
he's
reason.
freaking out.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that we don't like a state for America to have the infrastructure to be accounted for every single gun to be accounted for. There would have to be such an invasion of everybody's privacy and lifestyle that would be a tyrannical government. So it's not even worth trying to get rid of all the guns, in my personal opinion. It would involve a tyrannical government, and it's better to have guns than to have a tyrannical government.
I'm confused by your reasoning here.
Yeah.
So it's a tyrannical invasion of privacy to register firearms.
No, in order to find and account for all of the firearms that are not registered, that would involve an infringement on the rights of the individuals to such an extent, because logistically it would be so difficult. You'd basically have to go into everybody's house, ensure that they don't have
He's
guns.
right.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm saying that in order to accomplish that, getting rid of all of the guns, that would involve some form of extreme tyranny for them to accomplish that, and the guns are better than the tyranny.
Venezuela did it 20 years ago. Venezuela did it 20 years ago, and they were kicking
Oh,
doors left and right.
I love the Venezuelan debate. The Venezuelan
Okay, if
debate
I
is
may,
amazing.
obviously, as a fellow Brit that doesn't have a gun compared to EMP here that does have a gun, and maybe their guy that does have a gun, what is the difference between acquiring a gun in the US versus the UK?
EMP will be able to tell us
Easy
that.
here. It's easy.
Yeah, I
in
would
the
love
States,
to.
in Texas, it's simple. No criminal record, no criminal background. You're a normal person. Anybody can get a shotgun, any pistol you want. You can buy 20 in one day.
I
But
don't know why this is a good thing.
that depends on your felony record, not background. It's called Class A, B
So-
felonies in Texas.
Yeah.
So if you have a strong felony, you cannot get a firearm.
Yeah.
But I can buy one on the street. Right next door to me, a drug dealer will sell me a firearm cheaper than it will cost at a store. Thank you very
And
much.
the reason those
There's too many
firearms are
guns
so
here.
readily available is because they're legal.
Now there, guy. Listen to EMP is about to tell you what he had to do in order to get a firearm in the UK. Listen to this, bro, and tell me what you think.
Okay, I will warn you. It's a
I want to
long
learn.
process.
I want to learn.
It's a long process. So I had
not that
to I had to go to my local police station and you have to fill out this like forms and stuff. So you have to establish a reason of why you want to have the gun. So I shoot on my uncle's farm, so I wanted a shotgun because there's multiple different firearm certificates. So you can either get so a shotgun certificate is different than a normal firearm certificate. So I got a shotgun one, and obviously, so one of the so you have to establish a good reason for owning that weapon. And just so you know, self-defense is not an acceptable reason for owning one of a firearm. So I said for game shooting and sport shooting, and they went, okay, yeah, sure. And then next step, I had to pass a medical and background check. So I had to go to, I had to download some forms, fill them out, send them to my GP.
Sorry.
He filled
You
those
had
out.
to
Well, I'm getting.
get
Let
a
me
medical
finish.
for a gun.
Yeah. Well, it's
Mental health,
issues,
basically.
like depression. Yeah, and like if you have any records of like substance abuse, it's not due to the thing. And obviously, if you have a criminal conviction, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed one.
I mean, if you're
Yeah,
schizophrenic, then
it depends on the
definitely get
It depends on the conviction. So for a majority of convictions, they were. It's at the discretion of the police force.
Violent crime.
It's not just violent crime. It can also be if you have like domestic disputes, like if you have any restraining orders, if you have a stalking. Like that's why I wouldn't get a firearm in the UK, is because I've been charged for stalking, even though I'm innocent, obviously. But I've been charged for stalking, so I don't even want them to like. This is online stalking, by the way, for saying things online that cause people offense. They call that stalking in the tyrannical UK, by the way. Anyway, we're getting off topic, but it's kind of relevant in the sense that this is what happens when you take away people's guns. But anyway, go on.
Well, then I also had to buy a safe, which was has to be approved, like a standard approved one. It's very expensive. So bought that. Had to make sure that I showed them that the ammunition has been separate storely and all that stuff. And then I submitted another application, which I had to show my passport. I'd have references from people I know. So I'm pretty sure I got my workplace employer and I got a member of the council, which I knew. I got both of them to go for it, and then it went through. And then I had to pay, I think it was like 200 quid or roughly 200 quid to get a certificate. And then
Can I ask why the fuck have you got a
hold on, we're not done yet. Because then
oh my god.
Then he had to have
then I had to go
a rectal examination.
Are you buying the palace?
And then I had to have a police interview, and then after I did a police interview and that was all fine, boom, I got my license and I could purchase it.
And also the safe has to be attached to your wall, so it has to be a safe that's actually
it can't be moved.
It's unmovable from the wall in your house.
Right, okay, so let me get this right. You've done all that for your gun, and yet their guy there says, I can go into any store, buy it legally, or I can go to my nearest drug dealer and also buy one.
It's utterly ridiculous, isn't it? It's utterly
real
ridiculous.
simple.
Like, I don't know
but
how,
you're the one that's saying that
and
you
be
want
happy
Americans
with
to be more restricted, bro.
But here's a quick
because
thing.
guess what? I went through all of that because I have passed so many tests, and there's a reason the UK doesn't have mass shootings.
And you could still be a nonce.
All these tests.
No, that's not why they don't have mass
you-
shootings.
But
They don't have
know
mass shootings because
grocery
they're rare
stores-
anyway.
Guys,
they're not rare in
you know,
America.
grocery stores in Texas sell shotguns and long arms. They don't sell handheld pistols. And grocery stores in Texas sell shotguns and rifles because it's part of us eating. We got to get out there and get our animals.
No, yeah.
Y'all were
So it's-
basing.
Thing is a big
So getting a
industry, but
shotgun and
I don't
rifle
understand
is
how
so
that's-
easy.
I don't understand
It's
how
so
that- I don't
easy to get
understand how
one.
that's good.
So y'all
Why
are
do you keep
basing this
talking?
whole U.S. versus UK thing on gun laws.
That's
what
one of
we're-
the arguments. So if you
This
remember
is
at
one
the
of the
start,
things we're
EMP
talking
asked me what my
'cause
two
I'm
major
like,
things
what
were,
are y'all
and I
trying to
said,
do with these pew-pews that you're willing to leave the
Why
country
have you got
for?
one?
I said
Pew-pews.
First Amendment and Second Amendment, basically, which I think are the two things that form the basis of why America's better in all the other facets, because it allows for a free society and a culture of people being able to hold systems accountable better. And when you can hold systems accountable better, it's harder for them to fuck you because you can fuck them back. No homo.
Hey,
So
I would also love to go on top of that. So I agree with you. How do you want to be referred, by the way, just so it's easier
who, me?
for you? Yeah,
Amma.
Amma, cool, Amma.
Yeah.
So I do agree. So I'm a history student. I study history, and so I agree that the Declaration of Independence is one of the greatest works of modern writing in history, because it does outline very specific and good principles to build a foundation of a country on. But I also believe that during the time they were writing it, the Second Amendment was due to muskets and like single shot rifles, not fucking fully automatic. Like, I know not fully automatic, but not like 30 round clips and and like
Yeah, but
things
now
that
you
can
can
mow
just leave
down.
the-
Yeah, but they had
people
cannons
for
as
no
well.
reason.
They were allowed to have cannons as well. So
Okay, so,
What about
so do
dynamite?
you know how long it takes to fire
What
a
about
cannon?
dynamite?
yeah, it doesn't matter how long it takes. The point is that they wanted the people to have a
You
level
can
of
kill far more people.
no, but do
Sorry,
you not
sorry,
understand
no,
the
I shouldn't cut you
principle?
off, I shouldn't
The
cut you off.
principle being the reason why they wanted an armed populace is because they wanted the populace to be virtually as armed as the state. The whole purpose is
Yeah.
so that the populace can. So obviously, as the state evolves in its weapons capacity, that means that the civilians are also going to need to evolve in their weapons capacity. So
Well, here's the thing.
what's the
So
point in
the
bringing up
US
they had
are very-
muskets? Yeah, the government had muskets as well back then.
Yeah, so the US is famously that spends the most on their military over any other country.
Do you know where they buy
I-
them from?
I'm assuming you're going to say Raytheon or something along
No.
those lines.
We actually
Go on.
supply a lot of other countries weapons.
Isn't
Yes,
Russia one of the
Raytheon
biggest
is,
suppliers
they're a
as
weapons
well?
manufacturer, but yeah. But I mean, the US also supplies most of our weapons. I'm pretty sure all of our jet fighters are the US from the US and other
One of
things
the
of that
biggest
sort.
importers of guns is in fact from Albania. Albania export because they've got massive warehouses.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
There you
that.
go. There's another one. I've lost my train of thought. But so the U.S. military. That's what I'm talking about. The U.S. military is the most funded, I wouldn't say well organized because I'm pretty sure they're not.
They
even
help
that
us a
great.
lot too.
But
We
Yeah,
get
yeah, but
we
do
get
you
planes
think-
to
but there is
everybody.
no
We get
way-
planes to Morocco recently. We get
There
planes.
is no
we
way
get a lot of
an
fighter
armed
jets to a lot of
insurrection-
countries.
Okay. There's no way an armed insurrection by the U.S. populace would be able to compete with the U.S. military.
That's not the point. The point is that the state, like I talk about the state a lot in my videos. The state is a decentralized thing. It's an idea that exists within the minds of certain people. So you got to think that when you're fighting against the state, you're fighting that idea. So as soon as you say we're going to infringe on the rights of citizens, immediately you've already destroyed half of your enemy, because half of the people who have the idea of the state in their mind are going to say, hey, my brainwashing snapped out, I'm not going to do this to my family and friends. So that's one. And then two, a lot of the agents that people would actually be fighting against, let's say if there was some kind of like serious ground situation, the most of the people that you'd be coming into contact with would not be military agents. There's way more civilians than people in the military. They would just be everyday people, and like a population could easily overthrow their local police department easily, and once they overthrow the local
Easily,
police
very
department, they'll get all of their stuff. Like it's decent. I got a video on my page actually
Just
called
like how they did it during the BLM riots of 2020, right?
yeah, but I'm saying they would be even more effective than that if there was
That didn't
an
work
actual
out.
some kind of not insurrection, but if there was actually some kind of like a guerrilla warfare, let's say, because realistically, warfare is not as simple as. It's like I've got a video on my page called Fourth Generation Warfare. It's called Exposing State Tactics, Fourth Generation Warfare. And I talk about how warfare has evolved to the point where you can be fighting with modern weaponry, but the propaganda war, the war up here, is more important. So my question to you is, if you believe that the people couldn't overthrow the country using the weaponry that they have now, are you suggesting that the state would be able to maintain a population of people committed to the idea of keeping the American public at bay without defecting, without being demoralized, and in a guerrilla warfare situation, you think that the state would win? I strongly disagree.
Well, that's actually really interesting. I will have to check out that video because I do agree that sort of propaganda and like the media behind a war is almost as more important than the war itself. So if America did go into a civil war, well, good job that a percentage of the American people have been converted to seeing Trump as a godly figure, and they will do anything for him because, you know, MAGA is a cult. It really is a cult. They literally worship gold idols of the man. And it's like, so because a tyrannical government war, you're forgetting about all the civilian militias that will pop up as well as the military backing them.
Yeah, but the civilian militias
and
in all,
arriving.
you can only be a militia if you have arms, right? So if the government is saying we're gonna fuck you over, part of that would have to be disarming the population, right? Because it's difficult to fuck people over when they're armed. If you really want to fuck them over,
You are aware
Well,
that
they seem
Trump
to
is
be managing.
a glorified con man with dementia, right?
They're also
Allegedly.
seeming. What you mean? You also like they're doing that already. They're already fucking over their.
Who's being
civilians.
fucked?
They're not
Who's
doing
being fucked more? UK citizens or US citizens?
UK.
Oh, that is a tough question.
I rest my
to be fair.
case.
That's a really tough.
I rest
question.
my
Yeah,
case.
Well,
fucking
no, well,
UK.
it's not due
US.
to it's due to the fact of capitalism. But I would probably say that
It's
the
due to the
US
fact
are
that we
worse.
don't have any way. Mate, have you ever dealt with the state? Like, have you ever had beef with them? It's unwinnable, bro. It's unwinnable. We don't have good access to good lawyers. Like, everything's done centrally through the state.
So is that
Everything-
so is that a personal opinion?
No.
or is that
I'm not
state-
talking about me. Like, I don't need lawyers. I'm saying literally, like, if you take the system in the USA and the ability of a lawyer to win something for you legally in the USA, you are much more powerful than if you're in the UK dealing with the UK system with the best lawyers in the UK. Like, it's like night and day. The lawyers have more gravitas.
Is that a proven fact though? Is that a proven fact, or are you just?
I
saying
can't say it's a proven fact. I can say it's an opinion based
Okay.
on my experience with the legal system, my understanding of the legal system. I'm
Okay.
doing a lot of legal study. I'm a litigant in person in many cases. I understand. I've testified in U.S. court before, right? So, like, I understand generally the major differences between the US court system and UK court system. I'm more familiar with the UK. But my point is like, you have more leverage. That's the best way to put it. You have more leverage in the USA when you're trying to get access to justice or access to the system or trying to win something. That's why it's a more litigious culture where people sue people all the time, because that's the way that they beef. Like, I'm gonna sue you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the UK,
it's far more used. I suppose. Well, no, I suppose
So-
legal litigation for civil cases is a very common thing in the UK.
of course it is. It is common, but the remedies are far less. They don't have punitive damages. The court exercises more kind of oversight than they do in the USA. It's less gung ho.
Depends on the litigation used in the court.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but then
Okay, so
remember.
you hit on firearms.
One more thing.
Yeah,
One more thing, bro.
Yeah.
Just remember. Also, like, you got to think, if you're suing an institutional defendant in the UK, like, for example, I've got a lawsuit against the USA, against the NHS. I can't sue them out of existence. I can't sue them to where the court will say it's more important to fuck over the NHS to give this person justice, because when you have socialized systems, they're inherently tied to the government. So that's another major issue, is that
Yeah.
the UK has more socialized systems.
I would. So if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
what is your ongoing case with the NHS?
They killed my daughter and covered it up and tried to frame me.
Holy shit! Okay, I'm very,
Yeah.
that is very. I'm very sorry to hear
Wait,
that.
what happened?
The NHS in the UK killed my daughter in front of 10 people, covered it up, and then tried to frame me, and they weren't successful for it. They weren't successful with framing me, but they've still covered up my daughter's death.
What's NHS?
The socialized
National
healthcare.
National
Health-
Basically, our medical system.
That free healthcare that everyone's talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay.
I still want to know why Yamps has got a pew pew.
Who, me?
Why I have one?
Oh, I him. Oh.
Yeah, why have you got one?
I shoot, sport, and hunt on my uncle's farm.
Do you hunt deer?
No, I mainly shoot birds.
What do you do with them?
Like pheasant.
So,
Cook them, eat them.
What? Where are you at?
So his farm is actually in Northern Ireland. I'm currently
Ray,
in.
don't be a bastard.
England.
Okay.
What?
Ray, don't be a bastard.
I don't know if I'm stuttering that much. I'm sorry if I am. But it's just the way I speak, I guess. But so let's go for a different topic.
Sure.
Let's go for a different topic. I think
I
women's
still
rights
don't think
are
women
better
have a
here
right and
than they are
power.
in the US.
Say that again, bro.
I think women have more rights here than they do in the US.
That is a fact.
I disagree.
Explain. Please explain.
Yeah.
Well, sure, easily. Everywhere in the UK, a woman has the right to access abortion. The USA is not.
That's
not the case in the
actually
USA.
not true.
Mate, you're chatting bare
Please-
shit on that
please-
statement.
please-
Abortion
please
isn't
go
a
on.
right in the UK.
U.S.
not right, but it's
overturned
accessible.
Roe v. Wade.
They have the right to do it.
They actually don't have the right to do it. They just it's essentially the same as being decriminalized. Like, they just don't get prosecuted for it, but it's technically illegal under common law.
But they can do it.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of a
they
contradiction. That's why they need to repeal the abortion laws and ban abortion.
Oh, okay, we're banning abortion. Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good start. But yeah,
Yeah, because you get young girls over here getting pregnant,
that makes no sense.
like accidentally, and going, "Oh shit, I need to abort it." That's wrong.
Yeah. How is it wrong?
What do you mean? How's it fucking wrong?
How's it?
Well, please, you tell me. I'm asking you.
Mate, you can't just get pregnant by accident. Like, we should have more fucking. We should be more responsible.
Okay.
Why would
you can argue for the fact that
but
more sexual health things need to be taught,
but if it is a pregnancy that is the result of a RAPE, then that's the only time I think it would be okay.
Then abortion is fine.
Obviously that's a less bad, so to speak. It's a more more mitigating scenario, but I still think abortion should be illegal.
What happens
even in the
case
of SA?
Yes.
What happens in the event that a pregnancy is a threat to the mother?
What about that?
Well, then she
Because
moves.
my wife was contemplating having an abortion.
Well, that would be a different scenario, because nobody is required to end their life to save another person's life.
Well, yeah, but how do you say yes to that if you've got to outweigh between both
life
sides
is
of one side?
life is also a very loose term, because so how do you classify life? What do you classify life as?
Are you suggesting that a child in the womb isn't alive?
Depends on the stage of the pregnancy.
Until it has any sort of brain functionality or heartbeat, I wouldn't say it is.
Oh, that's weird.
I'd say it's a mass of cells.
Nah, that's wrong.
I don't think it's wrong. I think it's scientifically accurate.
Mate, you need to do some research, because
I don't understand how men
fetus
fall for
at
this
the
shit.
age of 4 months in the womb can hear, feel, taste, everything, and that's at the age of 4 months in the womb.
So what about less than 4 months? What about a week? What about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Well, don't check, what?
Wait, so do you think...
You can't make the point of, they can... Well, I don't support, unless it's for SA, I don't support late-term abortion.
Why not?
I just want to make that clear. Because I think the child is then far more... As it develops and as it becomes more of an actual thing...
But you agree that was the same... You agree that that's the same child, though, right?
No.
So it's not the same child, even though that's the child growing in the mother's womb. Is it a different child?
Well, because it hasn't developed anything.
No, but it's the same child at an earlier developmental stage, right?
So is a building that's being planned, or is a building that the foundation has been made? Is that the same as the finished building?
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? It's not even complicated. Is the person okay? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. There's twins in a mother's womb, right? Yeah. Can you distinguish between one twin and the other twin?
When they're born?
In the womb, can you distinguish between one twin and the other twin?
I'm not sure. I'm not a medical professional.
Oh, come on, bro. Don't be ridiculous.
Ultrasound, possibly.
The answer is bloody no, you can't.
You can distinguish between them, because they're clearly two different people. They're different individuals.
Well, they're two separate things, I suppose.
Right. So that means that if you had the twin here, twin A here and twin B here, yeah, growing, and one and you're at the gestation where you think abortion's okay. If they continued to grow, yeah, are you suggesting that these two individuals were interchangeable at the earlier stage, or would you say that this was the same person that was here before but bigger, and this is the same other twin that's here before but bigger? Or are you suggesting that they could have just swapped people, because they were not a person? Clearly they are
confused on your
logic. What I'm trying to explain to you is that clearly they are both unique individuals, just at an earlier gestational stage, right?
They're two unique clumps of cells, but I wouldn't call them individuals.
The
yet.
individual that you said is wrong to kill in a late-term abortion is the same individual at an earlier developmental
I
stage
wouldn't
in
say
the
it's
womb.
well. I wouldn't say it's wrong to kill because obviously I'm a man. I don't have I shouldn't have a voice in such things.
Oh,
I'm
bro,
just
you're
stating
cucked,
that-
bro.
Stage,
How are you
your-
this
at what
cucked, bro?
stage in your head do you think that they become
Sense, woman's
not
choice.
cells? At what stage of pregnancy do you think they become not a mass of cells? This
I'd
should
probably
be
say as
interesting.
neurons are being developed.
A real
There's an
man,
actual
a real
brain
man,
formulating.
bro. Listen to this, yeah, and this is my honest like thing to you, bro. A real man knows how to save women from themselves, and tells them to shut the fuck up when they say dumb shit. And the suggestion that it's okay to kill your own child is a misguided notion that women have been brainwashed to believe is correct. And it's our job as men to tell them not that they're right, but that they're wrong. And not to say, because we're a man, we shouldn't tell you what to do. We should be telling them because we're a man, because we're supposed to be protecting them from their dumb decision making that they do sometimes. That is a bad decision.
Even if the pregnancy would result in the death of the woman.
I said in that case, the woman wouldn't be obliged to stay alive to save a child, but any normal, healthy thinking woman would die for her child.
So, I got told a story by another American who's another friend of mine.
I think that's a very not hypocritical, but it's very. It's
It is
easy to say
hypocritical.
coming
No, it's
from a
hypocritical.
man.
It's hypocritical.
It's easy to say coming from a man that someone isn't willing to unalive for an unborn child.
I don't understand what you're saying. Like, are you suggesting that?
Also, I would like to bring up another point for debate later. Obviously, I'll let this continue.
Do you not think that a mother would want to die for her kids to save her kid's life? Isn't that?
Do they
more-
have other kids? Like to just say, "Oh, you're not willing to unalive for your unborn." Does that woman have other kids that she has to also bring up? Like that
I am
statement
gonna
in
have
general.
to talk on that one. I am going to have
Okay,
to talk
what
on
about
that
okay? So
because
if you
I've
have,
had that situation.
if you had
I've
3
had
kids,
that.
1 second,
To
Machine.
tell your wife,
Kim,
yeah,
if you had
should
if you had
unalive
3 kids,
now.
if you had 3 kids, yeah, and then someone said to you, "I'm either going to kill you or I'm going to kill one of your kids," are you saying that you would say kill one of my kids?
No, they're already here on this earth.
So you would
That's different.
sacrifice yourself for your child?
For the child that's on earth, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking
so
about an
your
unborn
distinction
child.
is just the unborn child is also on earth, by the way. It's just
Is
hidden
what?
from view. The unborn child is also
Yes,
on
but it
earth.
hasn't been born yet.
It doesn't
right?
matter whether it's
so
been
my
born, it's
child
still
that
the
has
same
already
child.
been born, the children or child that is already walking around on this earth, it is part of my responsibility, right, to raise, grow, and nurture them.
So is the child in your
For-
womb.
Okay,
Yeah, but
but
the
you.
child in your womb doesn't actually.
So now I'm gonna
know.
unalive myself, and then I have my children plus this new baby without a mother.
No, that's not going to happen. That's just a made-up scenario that feminists present. Like, you're going to die if you have
How's
the
that a
baby. That's
made-up
not happening.
scenario?
It's not a made-up scenario.
It is a made-up
These
scenario
things do
because it's.
happen.
How is it
they
made
do.
up?
It doesn't happen where the mother's life, that an abortion is necessary to save the mother's life. That doesn't happen.
Excuse me.
Yes,
I
it
can
does.
live
What are you
in
talking
proof
It
of
about?
happens.
that.
It
I am
happens.
living proof
Ectopic
of
pregnancy.
that.
Ectopic pregnancy is not a
living proof of
viable
that.
pregnancy.
Especially as a black man, to not acknowledge the fact.
Here
that
we go
black
again.
women
You black
face
man. What the
females.
hell? Why are you talking about black? Why?
Yeah,
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know why that's.
It's actually
I don't know
a
that
stat in regards to black women facing complications with childbirth.
Yeah, I know.
Not just in the U.S. but in the U.K. as well.
Yeah, but they're
I
not
was
solved by
16
killing the child, bro.
I was
and
What
in
the fuck?
and in the UK, since you want to talk about the UK, the stat of defect.
Mate, I was 16 weeks pregnant,
Wait, what? Oh.
and the baby dad bashed me with a street hockey stick, and that is when I had to make the decision of whether I live or the baby lives.
Cap.
Now, the fact that I've got 4 other kids. Something
I don't know
funny,
what's
Em?
funny. Yeah, there's
That doesn't
something
make any
funny.
Something
sense.
fucking funny.
I'm not saying it's funny. I said that's cap. That doesn't make any sense.
What do
No,
you mean?
someone
It
else
doesn't make
laughed.
sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
make
had
sense
I
that
had
you
a
either had to
hematoma.
kill the baby or you die. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Are you a doctor?
Hi, Darren.
No, I'm just a logical thinking person.
So clearly it doesn't make sense to you.
No, but there's a difference between- you know there's a difference between-
You haven't had the years of medical
But
training.
you know that there,
like a doctor
yeah, I
has.
know. Then I'd be really dumb and brainwashed, like most doctors are. The difference is that you can end a pregnancy early and call it an abortion, but most people, when they say abortion, they're referring to murder.
And it's
You don't
very
have to
rich
kill the
on
child
you
to
too.
deliver the child early. There's a difference between delivering
Aaron,
the
can I
child to
pose a-
save its
can I-
life
can I pose a
and killing
hypothetical
it.
for you? Can I pose a hypothetical for you?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Oh, one sec.
fire is everywhere. Like shit's going wrong.
Yeah,
And between you are 2 rooms.
Yeah.
One is a newborn baby.
yeah.
Just born like a week ago. It's in the crib, sitting there.
Hold
In
up,
the
man.
other
My
room.
phone's bugging out.
Oh no! It's the IVF room, and there's 500 fertilized eggs in there. So do you save the one unborn baby or the 500 unfertilized eggs?
The newborn baby.
Do I have to choose?
What?
Like, is like I have
yes,
to
you
choose?
have to choose. Sorry, you have to choose. One.
Is
You
there?
only got
I would
one. You
save
only
the
got one.
ones. I would save the one that I'm most capable of saving without harming myself.
Well, okay, so both are equally as.
Wait, you don't wanna harm
both are
yourself
equally
at
as
all?
savable.
Why don't you want to harm
The
yourself?
building's on fire. But I wouldn't feel obliged.
so-
But I wouldn't. But hold on.
Why
But hold
aren't you
on.
engaging
But hold on.
with
Do you know? No, I am engaging in it. The difference is in the hypothetical. I will engage with it, but the difference is that I'm not obliged to save the lives of other people's children. Do you understand? I'm obliged to save the
so
life
you
of my
wouldn't save
own
any?
children. Well, that's why I said it depends on the risk to me because I'm not obliged
So if
to
it
take
was
care of
your
other people's
newborn
children.
baby-
If it was my newborn baby, I would save my baby.
and your
time.
wife's 500
You have time to get one.
OVFs.
If I have time to get
Let's-
one
let's
or
say
the
she has
other, I would
500.
save the one that I have most affinity with. If it's my baby, I'll save
And
my
that
baby.
is?
The baby.
I know, but it's your newborn baby
But you're
or your
not related
wife's-
to either.
Okay,
You're
I'm not related to either.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
If it's either your newborn baby or your wife's OVS in the other room.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would
they're
probably,
both
I'd probably
right?
save the newborn baby only because I know that the
Why
babies.
would you do that?
Let me explain. Only because I know that the babies that are in the IVF room are likely to be killed by the hospital system, and I can't control the fact that they're going to get killed. If I knew that I could save the 500 IVF babies and none of them would get killed by the hospital system, I would save the 500.
That makes no sense, but okay.
It makes perfect sense because babies that the IVF system creates fertilized eggs and then disposes of them.
So you would save,
So
you'd
F the
save
newborn
eggs
baby.
instead of
If I
instead
knew
of the baby.
that the eggs were not going to get killed by the hospital system anyway, because remember the context is we live in you said IVF room, right? Which means that that's in the context of the systematic fertilization of eggs and then disposal of them, right? So there's other context to the statement IVF. I know that those babies are likely to get killed anyway. The newborn baby is not as likely to get killed anyway, right? But if I knew that
the
those
eggs
fertilized
would
eggs would all
fertile.
survive, I would save the 500.
But when they're inserted into you in IVF, they're not actual babies yet.
No, I know, but they still have the potential of
Oh
being
my God.
babies, so I'd save
Oh
500
my
if I
god!
could.
Did everyone just hear that? Did everyone in the chat just hear that? Mushy, could you repeat that,
This
please?
frontal lobe developed enough.
When,
Well,
like, your
Says the one that said, "You a black man, you can't speak on it, bro."
Well, hold
no,
on, sorry,
I'm
Emma,
pointing
Emma, I
out
wanna-
stats
Emma, can we please hear?
because it's
can we
very
please
common
let
for black
Mushy-
women
Can we please
to
let
go
Mushy
through
respond
that
to what they just said?
scenario.
Yeah, go on.
right, so when you go for IVF, it is literally just where the sperm has gone into the egg. It's not actually a baby yet, so it's literally a 50-50 as to whether you do have a pregnancy from that
So when the sperm enters the egg, it's not a baby yet.
Nah,
It's a fertilized egg, but it's a life, but it's not a viable pregnancy.
yeah, it's not actually a human being at that point.
Well, it is a human being. It's just not a viable pregnancy. It's basically on the same level as like an ectopic pregnancy that could be reversed if it could, hypothetically.
I wish that men could have children because y'all would not be talking like this.
Is this
if
literally
you
the
could.
level of your cognitive ability that the only thing you can bring up with every
Right.
conversation is
I
men,
would-
black, woman?
I mean, well, this is
Well,
this
no,
is a
I'm
woman-centered
pointing
issue.
it out because
I
you're
still think
thinking
Who
of it
cares?
as
What is
someone.
men and women have nothing to do with just basic logic, bro. This is just a
No,
normal
what I'm
logical.
saying is
All you
that
brought up
I
in
can
every
tell
part of the
your
conversation is
opinions are based
you a
on the
man,
fact
you
that
black,
you'll
you a
never
black
have
man.
to-
Like, come up with something that
I can
requires
tell
thought.
You could
your
let us, like, you'd let us
opinions.
speak. You'd let us speak.
I
Okay,
can tell
Captain
your
Saberho.
opinions are based on someone who knows that you will not have to be put into that position, right? So you don't think through things fully. That's why I
Really?
brought up a woman who has multiple children and is faced with that hard decision. It's not an easy decision, right? But if you have 3 children to raise, I'm going to unalive myself for an unborn child when I have 3. Or should
What?
I unalive? And then now there's 4 walking around.
don't know where we're going
without
here.
a
I'm
mother.
literally in that position right now. What are you talking about?
And so you would unalive your
No.
wife.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
well-
in the position right now of knowing that if I do anything wrong that I'm going to be ruining my kids' lives, and I deliberately don't do something that I want to do because I want to save my children's life, because I'm sacrificing myself for the benefit of my children, which is what parents are supposed to do. We now live in a selfish generation where women have been brainwashed to believe that it's normal to sacrifice your kids for you. It's just selfishness.
Right.
It's just cowardice. There's
I
nothing
would
more
like
to
to-
it. It's not
All right,
complicated.
let's change the topic.
I would
Let's get
like
on
to point you
food.
out to a
I
story
think
from
UK
the
food is
US.
trash.
Oi, cheeky motherfucker.
We
I would like to
exalt
point out a story
cowards
from the
nowadays.
US that we don't have in the UK
It's
to do with pregnancy.
It's so rare now to meet someone who actually stands on business and actually says, bro, that's cowardice. I did a video about this. I've said Jason Arday and Lindsay Clancy are cowards. That's the video I just recently dropped. You guys can check that video out. It's so rare to meet anyone who actually stands on business. Like, even like with me, like the shit I've been through and like my battle, you can check it out on social media or whatever, right? The reason people are so shocked that message me, not saying anyone cares about me, but like people message me like, how are you doing this? How are you so calm? I'm like, because I'm not a pussy. Like, is this confusing to you to see someone stand up for their kids? Like, people are genuinely shocked. Like, how are you fighting so hard for your child? I see other parents, their child got killed by the NHS, they give up. I'm just like, bro,
Right.
like this is crazy. Like,
say the
people
US
don't
is
want to
better than the
sacrifice.
UK.
People don't want to sacrifice their life for their kids, yeah, because it's selfish. Abortion is wrong. It's selfish. And America was right for repealing Roe v. Wade. And I would never move to a state, because I'm not going to make the big move to the USA, unless it's a state where abortion is banned. That's the only reason, literally the only reason why I'm not dead 100% settled on Florida.
So,
Yeah, but you're
What
not
do you
going
think's
over
the
there
story?
to like spread your oats, are you?
Sorry?
You're not going over there to sow your oats, are you?
No, I'm going to move somewhere where people are in alignment with the way I think. Pretty much everything that I've said this live, majority of Americans agree with it. It's only the leftist
Sounds
Americans
like
that disagree.
Nigeria
that's
would agree
true.
too,
I really don't
right?
think that's true.
No, the majority of Americans agree with almost everything I've said, bro. The majority of Americans
but
are pro
Nigeria
private
bears
healthcare.
arms, right?
I don't
They
believe so.
allow.
I think you might have to get a certificate or something. But yeah, EMS, the majority of Americans are pro-private healthcare. I'd say it's 50-50 on abortion, but definitely in red states, the majority of the people in red states are against abortion. What else have I said?
Do you have like a statistic that shows that most Americans are pro private healthcare?
Yes,
I mean, they're
actually.
so pro private healthcare that Luigi guy shot the.
Yes, actually, I believe that they
because they just love it so.
yeah,
much.
I can get you a
They haven't
poll.
got NHS over there.
It's
right.
about
What about-
55% to 45% from what I saw
What
last,
about
but let
the
me check
case
it out
of
for you.
last year where America had a woman in question who was pregnant? She was declared brain dead. The hospital in question kept her body as a goddamn life support system for a
Yeah.
child, and it gave birth.
Okay,
Yep.
that's
Support
good.
that? You support the fact that a child was born defective from a dead body.
They weren't born defective and they
Her
weren't born
body
from a
was
dead
rotting.
body.
Mate,
Necrosis
Yeah,
necrosis
well,
doesn't mean that
like-
you're dead.
you can't live inside a dead body, bro.
Exactly.
You can with bypass.
No, necrosis. They are lying to you and telling
She was
you
brain
that she
dead.
was
She
dead.
was brain dead.
Brain dead is not
She
dead.
wasn't there.
Yeah, but her
Brain
body
dead is
was
not
Brain
dead.
dead.
No, it's not. That's a
You
lie.
are your brain.
No,
Her body
no,
was
you're not.
rotting.
No, you're not. You're wrong. You have no idea what you're talking
Her
about.
body was
So
rotting.
you're not
Necrosis doesn't mean you're dead. You can be in a hospital bed and your body can be rotting while you're still alive.
Yeah,
The
but if
body-
your brain doesn't work, you're not there.
No, that's
You're not
that's
you.
false. There's been multiple
And that's
cases of
very
people who are brain
important
dead
for,
coming back to life.
Yeah, but the
Uh,
body's
like who?
still working.
A fetus.
It's common. Look it up.
It's not common.
It's just a no true
Also,
Scotsman.
the burden of- the
You're
burden-
getting
the burden of
manipulated by the
proof is on
medical
you.
system. It's just a no true
If you make
Scotsman
a sta-
fallacy.
If you
No.
make a statement, you need
So
to
you're
prove it.
pro
You can't just say
healthcare
something.
It's a no true Scotsman fallacy. The medical system is lying to you.
Okay,
They tell you that
so
people
you're
wait.
telling me
They
that
tell you that
you're-
people are brain dead, and then anytime someone comes out of being brain dead and isn't brain dead, they say, "Oh, they must have not been brain dead in the first place," and they move the goalpost. You can be
So you're
declared
pro
brain
healthcare
dead.
system?
You can be
said it was
declared brain
common.
dead and still be alive. It's not an exact parallel. And also, get this. This is another interesting piece of information. Did you know that what they use to characterize brain death is different in the UK versus in other countries? So the UK has a more lenient criteria for brain death than many other countries, which means you can actually be declared brain dead in the UK and wouldn't be considered brain dead if you were in another country. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
Kill Bill.
Yeah, so
Have you
so
seen the film
what
Kill Bill?
What example would that be?
She was in a coma and still gave birth.
That's a film.
That would
Blah, blah,
mean
blah.
that brain
Mate,
dead is an
yeah, but
arbitrary
he's brain
descriptor
dead.
based on the laws of a country.
Yeah, but that's a film. It's not real.
The
crying
baby
out loud, this is-
suffered cardiac
Yes.
arrest in the womb.
You know we can use the Force because I saw it on Star Wars, so all of us can use it. That's the logic you're using right now.
You seriously are one fucked up dude.
What?
Bro, I'm
You
shocked
just
that
said, "Oh, they did it in Kill Bill." It's just
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
no, no,
movie.
no. Right, listen, brain dead.
Brain dead
and
doesn't
still
mean
being able
dead.
to give birth. See what I mean?
You're
And also,
basically
like-
brain dead.
Via
There is not,
C-section.
you're not
And
there
anyway,
anymore.
any normally thinking mother, I mean, it would be good for a hospital to make a presumption that a mother wants her child to survive and not be killed. That used to be a normal thing until like we had this insane like wave of like feminist fucking radical nonsense that somehow men have fallen
God.
for. This is just
Women's
insane.
Rights, am I right? Jesus. God,
Women's
I can't
right to
believe women have
kill
rights
their
now. So
kids.
annoying.
Yeah, it is really annoying actually. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, like when women can like just choose who they want to be, you know? It's like ridiculous. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I
but
love your sarcasm.
Why can't they just be an attachment? Why can't they just be an attachment?
So,
Bro, are you a
Why do they have to be
homosexual?
their own person?
You are such
part
a
of giving
pig.
birth if you've got to be sliced open.
EMP, are you a homosexual?
No.
Huh?
Okay.
Why
I
would you call
dabbled,
him?
but no.
Because he like
Why would you call him that?
because he I didn't call him it. I'm said he views the world through like a lens of like a woman basically. like. So I was wondering if he also likes men.
Every single person should be given their merits.
And
Every
he
single person
views
should
the
be given as many
world through the lens
opportunities
of
as
a woman.
Yeah, like he views everything from like a woman's perspective. He's like, oh, what would the
I
women
think
say?
you view the world from
well,
a whitey British person, but I mean,
Because you're
you
obsessed
stop
with
me
race.
from-
That's why. You can't.
No, it's the
every
British
single
part.
contribution to your to the conversation
Yeah.
has been race from you.
You shouldn't bring up race. Just leave it. That's a
It's
different
crazy
bag
because
for another day.
like everything that I'm saying, bro, this all used to be normal literally 50 years ago. 50 years ago, it would be unthinkable for millions of children to just be being aborted, and people were like, yeah, this is good. You guys are the insane ones. Everybody else just remained normal. You guys are just like, oh, soon you'll be saying
50
like,
years ago,
soon you'll be
people could
saying,
afford
oh,
having
women should be
children.
able to kill their kids outside the womb as well. You just keep moving the goalposts to crazier and crazier shit. Everyone's sick of it. I'm surprised more men don't just tell you guys to shut the fuck up. Because like, if someone was talking about killing my child in the womb, I'd knock them out. What the fuck are you talking about? Women should kill their kids. Well, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you hear yourself?
You need to have.
So wait,
No,
Do you actually hear
Don't
yourself?
get too deep into your business, but like, what happened? Was it like
Oh my God.
during birth, or was it like they were sick?
After.
My daughter got killed by misuse of a ventilator on a hospital ward when she was 5 months old.
Got it. But you're pro healthcare system?
I didn't say I was pro healthcare system. I was talking about the systems being one system being better than another, i.e., a mixed healthcare system being superior to a fully socialized healthcare system.
Our system failed him.
Yeah, the system definitely did fail you, and I'm really sorry to hear your story.
Right, but
I
that's
think
irrelevant to
we
the
need
fact
to-
that the healthcare system also
Yeah,
murders numerous children in the womb every year, and nobody does anything about it.
Well, because they're not doing that. It's because you just said like, oh, if someone told you that you needed to abort your kid, you'd knock them out, right? And I, you know what? I perfectly agree with that. But the thing is, no one's telling you to do it. We're just saying they should have the choice to stop, so they don't have to radically alter their
No,
lives.
they're telling women to do it.
Single
They're
mistake they
brainwashing
make.
them to do it. They when you
They're
go to
not
yes, they are,
brainwashing you to do it.
mate.
They're just
I've
telling you have a choice.
Mate, they are brainwashing women
That's the
and
two women
and coercing
inside,
them.
they're
They are brainwashing them and coercing them to have abortions. That is a fact. I have
No, they
two-
aren't.
you.
We're going
It's just not true. It's just not true. You just
Mate.
made that up. You're just making stuff.
I'm
up.
not making
It's
stuff
not
up.
real.
I've literally got two. So I've got a. There's a. You should look up the case of Carl and Carly Wesson. Look that case up.
I'd
That's the
spell
same
that.
hospital that killed my daughter. Carl and Carly Wesson. The hospital lied to them, told them that they had something wrong with their child, and then they aborted their child, and it turned out there was nothing wrong with their child. There's also a whistleblower that I've got that said, personally told me she worked for Nottingham University Hospital Trust. She said she prevented 3 abortions on the ward where the staff were lying to the parents, telling them that something was wrong with the child needed to be aborted, and the parents stuck it through. She told me that she convinced the women herself, don't abort your child, because she was against abortion. She said, don't abort your child, and she said she has saved 3 women's babies from being aborted because the hospital lied to parents and coerced them into having abortions. This is widespread. It's happening in the USA. It's happening in the UK.
I feel like these are very, very specific.
No, they're not
examples.
specific examples. You just don't know what's
These
going
are
on.
medical
Women, no,
mistakes
you don't
and
know what's
framing
going
it
on.
as
See, this
being
is the
a
problem.
massive
You don't want to
societal
stand up.
issue.
See, you don't want to stand up for women. You want to feed into their
I
worst
am.
tendencies.
I'm doing it right now.
Young women, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, are going into hospitals and being coerced by feminist nurses to have abortions. They're telling them, "Oh, you're 15, you're too young to have an abortion. Oh, you're 18. What about your life? Oh, your
what are your
boyfriend,
thoughts
your
about
boyfriend could be a
men
domestic
who
abuser.
don't
You don't want to
take
raise a
care
kid."
of
They're
children?
coercing them to have abortions. Facts. You might not know that this is happening, but this is the kind of thing that I deal with, the thing that I talk to people about, the thing that my whole page is about. This is facts, bro. You just don't know that it's happening. There's a movement, look it up, this movement, End Coercion in Maternity Care. There's a study done, End Coercion in Maternity Care. A study done that revealed that women are being coerced to do things on
What are your thoughts on men?
I know
taking care
multiple
of
women who have been
children?
coerced into having an abortion. I've known like 4 women personally in my personal life. They go to the hospital, they're unsure. They're like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and the nurses tell them, "Oh, you're too young. Oh, have an abortion." This is common, and then on social media, it's being normalized and promoted to women as if it's normal, and it's making them think like, this is just another option of what I can do. And then they have the abortion. It affects their mental health. A lot of women can't sleep. They cry in bed at night. They think about the baby that they could have had. It fucks them up. They start using drugs. This is common shit. But you guys don't want to talk about that. You pretend you care about women, but you don't. You just want to feed into their worst tendencies.
I'm actually
No, I do
Pro-life
care.
maternity
That's why I
care.
brought it up.
These are the facts. Exactly. It affects their ability to conceive again. It fucks them up.
So they got 300 people to share their experiences on coercion.
Yes.
How many people get pregnant in the UK every year, would you say?
Millions, let's say.
It depends which town.
So 300 compared to at least hundreds of we can agree at least hundreds of thousands, right?
Right. So you're going to say it's a
Hundreds
small
of thousands.
sample size.
It's a very small sample size, and because
Yep,
this isn't
I agree.
really getting much, this isn't really. They need to, for me to believe in their ability, I think they should get a larger sample size.
I agree.
than they have at
This
the
is
moment,
not just
because this
about
isn't-
abortion. This is about coercive practices in maternity care. There are many reports. There are many studies that have been done by the government that show that there are coercive practices in maternity care. I'm not going to start listing all of them, but basically, my point is, if you can't see what's going on, maybe you're just not as integrated into the so-called fight for rights that I'm involved in. But the reality is, this is happening. People are scared to talk about it. There's a lot of coercion. There's a lot of shaming. Really, the main people being shamed are women who have gone through this stuff that want to speak out against it and say, actually, my abortion really fucked me up. Actually, I cry at night when I think about the fact that I killed my daughter or killed my son. Actually, I didn't realize that when I looked in the toilet bowl, I would see a semi-formed human being. Actually, I was brainwashed. I was convinced by my friends and family, maybe my parents, maybe my culture, maybe my friendship group, that it was normal to do this, and it's really fucked me up. Women are scared to come out and admit it because there's feminist bullies and these liars coming out online and telling them, "Oh, abortion's fine, abortion's good," and they can't share their experience because they're being silenced and coerced.
That's what I was going to do a minute ago. So when I had my abortion, because it was either me live for my already living kids or my unborn child, I caught him, and it was a little boy. I caught him in my hand and I cuddled him. I stroked his head and I said to him, "I'm awfully sorry." I apologised to that. No, baby, it'll come out with me.
This is what I'm fucking talking about. This is what I'm talking about. See, would she, no offense here, but would you have shared this, in a normal setting without someone saying, this is what I'm saying. This is what's happening up and down the country to women. They're not talking about it. And then you guys have the nerve to come on here and say, "Oh, women have the right to choose to kill the kids." It's fucking them up, bro. Abortion is wrong,
I
bro.
would never have said anything about this because in every other fucking life I'd have been called a nasty bitch. and
Exactly.
fucking
Exactly.
Everything else.
Well,
This is what
do
I'm saying,
personally
bro.
I do personally know many women who have had abortions because obviously they weren't at the correct time in their life.
Yeah.
There was an issue with the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Mine was
haven't heard
neither of
about-
those. I had a hematoma which was half in and half out of the womb.
Do you know why you haven't heard about it, bro?
I'm
I'm going to
really
be
sorry
so
that you
brutally
don't- I
honest with
haven't-
you. The reason you haven't heard about
None
it
of them have
is because
regretted it.
you're not a real ninja, bro. That's why. So, like, You see someone like me I'm so confident and outspoken. Someone will lay next to me at 3 a.m. and they'll spill their heart out because they know that I will take what they say. But because you're lying to them, they know deep down in their heart, like, this guy's lying to me. When you say, like, oh, some other she knows in her head, like, this is wrong. Someone needs to tell me it's wrong. She wants a real man to sit with her and be like, this is wrong. And she'll pour her heart out and tell you, yeah, when this happened to me, no. But it's because all of you fake men, bro, you keep lying to them. And when you lie to them, you're normalized. They're pushing it to the back of the head, pushing it to the back. But if you be honest with them and be real with them, be like, bro, this was wrong. You shouldn't have done this. They all start pouring their heart out.
That every single, are you arguing that every single woman would hate to have an abortion?
Yes, but some women are also psychopaths.
Every single woman.
Every woman hates having an abortion. Every single one.
It fucking breaks my heart.
Every single one.
Statistically speaking, about 80% of women in question never want to have an abortion.
But yours wasn't like
there's 4
you
billion
just said,
women in the
"Oh,
world,
I
and not a
want
single
to."
one
There
of
were
them wants it.
circumstances
Not a single
that
one.
were happening. Right?
Not a single one.
I didn't want it.
I can't. It's so ridiculous.
So, but like that's the
They
thing.
lying to
it
themselves.
wasn't like you just woke up one day and you said, "Oh, I want to get it." Like there were circumstances that happened, right, that were not ideal, right? And you know, you made the decision that you made, but it wasn't as if you just said, "Oh, I just want to get it." You know what I mean? So like there's so many different scenarios that lead to women getting abortions, and I don't understand, right, why someone who can't even have a child wants to tell people that they should not even have a choice.
A choice to kill their child.
People
No, they
should not
shouldn't.
make it about saying pro-abortion, right? That should not be the message. But people should have the right to have it because everyone's story and scenario is different.
Listen, if you want to give people the right to do it,
And that is my
that's on
stance.
you. I want to move to somewhere
Hey.
where people don't have the right to do it because that has
Emma.
such a detrimental effect on society. It's causing serious mental health issues in women. And this is part of the reason why they're acting so insane right now on social media. It's because a lot of them have had abortions and it's turned them insane. They can't live with themselves. It's like people that come back from the military, bro. That's why they unalive themselves, because they can't live with what they've done. They start acting crazy, bro. So all of these feminists, they're acting crazy because they killed their child in their womb. It's fucking them up inside. So they have to buy into this ideology
Wait, what?
that allows them to feel like what they did wasn't wrong. That's why that's the number one thing that they care about.
Can we change the topic to like a different
As a
one?
father,
'Cause-
when
So was I
my
wrong?
wife was pregnant,
No, you were not wrong at all, Mushy.
I hated. One of the questions I absolutely hated, and they asked us at every single visit, every single freaking health visit she ever had. Can we pull you to one side, please? By all means, so get pulled to one side. She gets asked the same thing, I get asked the same thing. Is your partner abusive? Shut the fuck up, because I want to put you through the bastard wall. No, I'm not abusive to her, neither is she to me. But they do it because in the second that you say, yes, he abuses me, or yes, she abuses me, how does this
What?
affect the child?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Then they try and take your kids. Yeah. That's what happened to me. So this is what I'm
That's how
saying.
They do it, though. It's
This-
not just a simple step. You've
Exactly.
got to say, is someone abusive for it to be triggered?
For
But
what to be triggered?
basically, he's
If your partner's
describing
abusive,
the culture.
medical people have the legal right to say, would you like to have an abortion or some sort of termination fee?
Right.
It
Okay.
is how the
If
systematic
an abortion
program
an
works.
option,
So they are coercing women, as I said before, they're coercing women
They
using.
do it with men because I had the same question asked. Is my wife abusive?
No, I know,
No,
but
she's not.
but when you say it, because you're not the birthing person, so to speak, they're not going to then say to you, well, you know, your options are actually to, you know, potentially abort the child if you're not happy in a relationship. But that's what they say to the mothers. They say to the mothers who are unsure, insecure about things, they say to them, you know, if you're not happy in your relationship, if you don't feel like you're
We've had
financially
it
stable,
asked
if you're
6
too young,
times.
then you can kill your child, and that's perfectly okay, and it's totally normal. And don't feel like I had an abortion. Oh, trust me, I'm living my best life. I'm a nurse. I
Mate,
earn 70K. I had an
was
abortion, girl.
more than
Just
happy
do it. It's
to
okay
carry
if you
on
want to do it.
pregnancy, but it would have ended up as one of us was going to be like, I'm like at the end of it. Now the fact that I've got 4 children already living that needed me, like it wasn't an actual option. You know what I mean? There's no way I would have said, oh yeah, just get rid of it at all.
Listen,
We had it asked 6
when you guys
times,
have
is
kids,
your
maybe you'll
partner
understand
abusive?
more. Well, some of you, because I'm telling you, bro, if you go through it, like my kids were born at 25 weeks, yeah. The fact that there are places that it's legal to kill a child in the womb at 25 weeks, I mean, this is
That's
sick.
disgusting.
Well, the cutoff for the UK is 24.
Oh, 24.
25
So if my
actually,
kids
yeah.
were born 3 days earlier, it would have been legal to kill them.
I mean,
This is
well,
what
you're
I'm
not killing
talking
them, but
about,
yeah,
bro.
You're not killing them.
Mate, I
Because they're
was
not
either
An
16,
abortion
17 or 18
literally
weeks.
kills the
no,
child,
I
bro.
had
Let me
my
ask you a question.
boy.
Amal, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When does life start?
At
Is that
conception.
Like, as soon as it happens?
Yes, that's when life starts.
So, is it able to survive on its own?
No, because it's not viable.
So, but you said that abortion in a non-viable pregnancy is right? Or
No,
well,
I
you said
didn't.
no, but you said it's more understandable if the pregnancy.
If the pregnancy is not viable, then like an ectopic pregnancy, then it makes sense to end that pregnancy because it's not viable.
Yeah. And the fact that
That's
I
like a
even
that's like a
came half in,
compassionate.
half out the womb.
That's basically like someone bleeding out and then you just finish the job. Like they're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. That's like a
But
compassionate thing.
And you just stated that when conception arrives, it's not viable for life.
It's not viable until it's implanted in the walls of the uterus, right? So that you were talking about IVF. So those were fertilized eggs that are not in the womb, so they're not viable. So while they are still alive, yes, they are lives. They're not viable until they're implanted into the womb of a mother. That was an argument about potentiality, about because you said would I save the 500, and I said if I knew that the 500 were all going to end up implanted in the mother's womb, then yeah. But obviously with IVF, it's more than likely that they would all be killed. That's why I said I would go for the newborn. In fact, I'd probably still even potentially go for the 500.
Men definitely run the country better than women, you know.
Yeah, they've done a great job so far.
Well, the reality is that the main thing that's been fucking up society recently is women. So you can argue that a lot of the issues in the past have been men, but men.
I mean, the main thing fucking up the society is the capitalist system which we all live in. But you know,
I think that society right now with the modern. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, women in power fucked it up, and we've got to rely on the men to sort it out.
I agree.
They fucked up in the UK, but in other countries they found success.
No, because if you think about it, yeah, like if we don't know what society would have been like if we had all the same technology, but then we didn't have this whole like feminist culture. I feel like shit would actually be lit as fuck. Like I feel like things would be way better right now because remember back in the day the main issue
women wouldn't even have any rights. Like we just do whatever we want.
Nah, they would have rights, but I'm saying like the main issue back in the day was the fact that people had to do manual labor to survive. So there was a lot of things done out of necessity. There was like more direct form of warfare and things like that. But now because of the modern era and the modern technology, I'm saying if we had all the same modern things like the technology that means that we don't have to do physical labor, but people still cherished motherhood such that they didn't want women to be put into every single male role, and their women was okay with that, and men weren't basically being disenfranchised by a system that's constantly targeting them with propaganda, I think we'll be in a better position. I think feminism has been one of the worst things that's ever happened to humanity.
So you think the fact that women were able to get jobs in male-dominated fields and get the right to vote, get the right to choose who leads the country, you think that was an issue?
I don't think it's an issue women having jobs. As I said, women can do whatever jobs that they want. I'm saying if they chose, like because it's a cultural thing. You remember, just because you disagree with something doesn't mean that you want laws against it. Like I can say I disagree with women leadership, but I don't think it should be illegal for a woman to be a leader. That would be ridiculous. That would be tyrannical. But I can say I disagree with it, as in I wouldn't advocate for it, right? Like you could say I don't want you to go out and party, but that doesn't mean that you think party should be illegal. You just think that in a certain context someone shouldn't do something. So I'm not saying that women's rights necessarily need to be restricted, but in terms of things like the right to vote, I wouldn't directly restrict women's right to vote, but I would do something that has that knock-on effect so that it's not a direct effect, so that if the woman is an outlier, like I think everyone should have to earn their right to vote through citizenship tests. I think that people should have to I think even a household vote could be a good way of doing things.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
But basically,
so you're not, when you're born, you're not a citizen in your government structure.
It's not about being a citizen. It's about being a voting citizen.
You can vote when you're poor. You turn up to the ballot
when you're
born.
Yeah. But you said you have to earn your citizenship.
Baby and say who do you vote for?
Yeah,
of course not.
I think people should earn it because literally, if you put a citizenship test to vote, and even if you added some other tests like basic maths, basic rhetoric, like reasoning tests, like majority of women would fail a lot of those would fail those tests. If you literally did like maths,
That's just
maths.
you just made that up.
No, I didn't make it up. Do you know what majority means?
Women consistently score higher in all those degrees.
In maths.
I actually have an IQ
Yes,
of
in maths.
120.
No, they don't. They don't score higher in maths
Yes, they
and in
do.
rhetoric. No, they don't.
Again, I have an IQ of 120.
The word majority means more than 50%. So more than 50% of men would probably fail that mathematics, citizenship test, and the reasoning test, and definitely more than 50% of women would fail those. Because even if you gave everyone in the population GCSEs right now, I wouldn't be surprised if over 50% failed. So to tell me that you think that...
Would you say that all women, though? Like, all women...
I said majority.
Like, not as good as maths? Majority, okay.
Majority, if you did those three
Majority
tests,
of women,
rhetoric, mathematics, like let's say mathematics up to like, I don't know, like...
you're not.
What do they call it? No,
I'm amazing at languages, but shit at
I
maths.
can't even remember the fucking name of it. That makes me look like an idiot. But anyways, if you basically up to a certain standard, if you test everyone in the population, not someone that's already in school, I'm talking about adults, yeah, majority of people would fail those tests. So those people shouldn't be voting because they don't understand logic, mathematics, English, and reasoning.
Well, wouldn't that be the consequence of a bad education system instead of because they weren't taught how to do it?
It could be,
or
but
do you
it would.
think they just couldn't do it.
It could be, but it would definitely mean that the majority of women wouldn't vote, and majority of them wouldn't even want to take the test.
Well,
Okay,
would you
you
not
know what?
argue
we're
majority
going in
to
circles
be
here because we're
people
clearly not
in Wales
making
are
any.
being put to be test takers rather than actual citizens.
I still want to know why he's got a fucking pew pew.
He said he's hunting
I said
animals.
that already.
Oh, someone had a lot of
Ages ago.
buzzwords for me. They said, "Holy shit, misogynist, fascist, and stupid. Our species is so fucked." Are you talking about yourself? Because you want women to kill their female children, so you hate women. You're a fascist because you are trying to prevent me from saying the things that I want to say, using shaming tactics. And you're mad because I'm saying that I want a better system.
Well,
you want your fascist system to stay. And I'm far smarter than you.
Quite fascistic.
No, I'm not talking about
You're-
citizenship. I'm talking about voting.
Yeah, that's what citizenship is.
No, it isn't.
The only. So what is? So
There,
what's the difference
there used to be
between being
citizens
a
that didn't
citizen
have the
and
right
voting?
to vote. So you can be a citizen that doesn't have
Is
the right to vote.
And when was that? When was that?
Women were not always
Children
allowed to
are
vote.
citizens, right?
Yeah.
Do they have the right to vote?
No.
Exactly. So you
Because
can
they
be,
are not of age.
but you can be a citizen that doesn't have the right to vote. That's the point.
But you're qualifying it on a test, a state mandatory test that you need.
There
to
could
take
be
to vote.
there could be numerous ways. I'm just suggesting ways that they could do it. Like, I'm saying that
need to take a
Actually,
test
no,
before
because
you vote.
America actually did try this test. They did it. It was a part of the Jim Crow laws when black people originally got the right to vote. Do you want to know what one of the questions on that test was?
what?
How many bubbles are in a bar of soap? Because they didn't want them to pass. So you're literally paving the way.
Well,
for
I don't
fascist
agree. I don't
government
agree with Jim.
because they could put whatever they wanted, and whoever they want to vote, they would get it. They could.
That's a
make
good
it
point.
cultural thing. They this is.
That's a
it's
good
really
point. That's a
flawed
good
idea.
that's a good critique. But remember, I just made a
I can
suggestion. I
answer
didn't
his
say that I
question
definitely want to do that.
Yeah,
And
no,
also,
I don't say-
and
but
also,
it's-
that's the same with every test. A fascist could put lies
I
in
can
a
answer his
textbook
question
talking
there.
about
There's no
how
bubbles
everyone
in
needs
a
to
bar
take
of soap.
vaccines, and a fascist could say
Well,
COVID
it's
killed loads of
it's
people. And
different to
a
the-
fascist,
It's different to the state mandatory test that you need to take.
You mean like a
compared
state
to
curriculum that
something-
you need to learn?
Don't they call that
But,
GCSE?
Is that
but
fascism?
The facts they teach, but they teach you facts and knowledge.
Okay,
Of life.
and the test is completely facts based and knowledge based, and it's all relevant to life.
Yeah, but
Same shit.
So it's based on facts and knowledge, because
Same
it's
shit.
stated. It has to be stated. Yeah, no, because okay, is how many bubbles in a bar of soap? Is that a test on facts or knowledge?
Obviously
There's no
not, but
bubbles
that's
in a
just
bar
a
of
that's
soap.
just a
Obviously
silly
not. They
anecdote.
could easily implement that in air.
But that's just a
It's not
silly
silly
anecdote.
This is real
They
history.
could
This
easily,
really
bro.
happened.
That's what they do with the normal tests you do in school. They literally feed into the narrative propaganda that they want you to leave. That's literally, is that state
Oh
fascism?
yeah, that big narrative. Oh, what's
Yeah, that big
yeah,
narrative, like
truth.
telling you,
Yeah.
you that somehow World War
Yeah,
II was
facts.
about the
Don't want
Axis
that
and the
back,
evil
no.
Nazis,
That's
and it
like
wasn't a bankers'
saying
war.
Oh,
that we should
Oh,
believe
well, yeah,
that
probably
the
was a
state should be
bankers'
test takers, and that's a.
So how many
a
bubbles are there in
novel
a
way of
bar of
thinking.
soap?
12.
It's an impossible question to answer.
There's no bubbles in a bar soap. You've got to rub the soap to get the bubbles. Duh.
Yeah, it's an impossible question to answer. That's the point of the question.
The point is
they
that
couldn't
we
vote,
could
so they would
restrict.
fail.
We need to restrict the impact of people who are clearly mentally unwell on the system, because these people, like, I'm telling you, these people are the people that actually are damaging the system. Nurses,
What about
social
Mentally
workers,
mentally
doctors,
unwell
lawyers,
people can't contribute to the
feminists. Feminists are ruining
Only
everything,
feminists.
huh?
So
So
I was going to
feminists
say,
should be
I
able
got
to.
BPD. And
Yeah,
ADHD,
feminists are
so that's mentally
feminists are.
unwell.
They're not right in the head, bro.
So, what about people who are neurodivergent then?
Depending on what they have, maybe they shouldn't be able to vote either. It depends on what their neurodivergence is. But the neurodivergence doesn't neurodivergence
yeah.
doesn't. But hold on, neurodivergence doesn't mean that you're mentally unwell though. So what are you talking about?
Well, I've got Asperger's syndrome and ADHD.
But why would being neurodivergent mean that you shouldn't vote? That's just thinking differently.
You're on the low end of the spectrum. You obviously suffer, and people can judge you a different way depending on appearances and how you come out with things. If you're high end on the spectrum, you have a supposedly incredibly high IQ to the point of savant syndrome.
No, but
which
you
makes
can. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you can be an intelligent decision maker and be neurodivergent. But if you're mentally ill, then you lack the capacity to make decisions. So a mentally ill person, a seriously mentally ill person, shouldn't be voting. And a lot of these people that you guys are listening to are fucking insane. They're mentally unwell.
So I'll bring the topic back.
Okay.
So I'll bring the topic back on USA better
Sure.
than the UK.
Yeah, USA is better
we've been
because
talking about government a lot recently.
yeah,
We've been talking about government a lot recently, right?
yeah.
So, America is currently an oligarchy. We can agree on that, right? The billionaires have the majority power in what goes through because they have the Senate in their pockets because of how corrupt it is.
That's the same as England.
That's kind of a heavily loaded.
That's not generic.
Heavily loaded statement.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know why I brought that up because that's a problem with capitalism.
Is America
Like
an oligarchy? Well,
I'm sure
I'd
such
answer
a-
no.
Yeah, right,
Do oligarchs have a significant impact on politics? Yes, I'd say that.
What's an oligarch?
It's basically like an
Person who's got
unelected
billionaire
wealth and power.
rhetoric,
person who's
Putin and his friends
got
are
influence.
Sorry, one
oligarchs.
person at a time. Amma, what's an oligarch?
It's basically an unelected person who's amassed some kind of wealth or political influence that's able to have influence on others without being democratically voted in.
So it would be like the Cray twins.
Like Elon Musk, they would call an oligarch.
Yeah, Elon
Let's see if we can get an actual definition because I don't know how close mine was.
Elon Musk is
An
basically
oligarch,
an
an
oligarch
oligarch is an
because-
extremely rich and powerful business
Yeah.
leader. He's their great wealth to control or influence a government.
Yeah.
The word comes from oligarchy, which means rule by a small group of people.
Yeah, I'd say I was pretty spot on.
So, America is pretty much a fascist
They were
state
down
at the
then.
moment,
Jesus
right?
Christ, mate. You just swallowed
They are
every talking
literally-
point. Hook, line, and sinker. What are you talking about?
They are literally taking people off the street and
Sheila,
killing
quite annoying.
civilians because they.
Bro, what
disagree
planet do
with
you
them.
live on?
I live in this planet, and that's what happens in the US constantly.
It happens extremely rarely, and it usually happens in cases where people forget that they're dealing with the government robots who are going to shoot you if you make a sudden move. You know what I mean?
What a great place.
No,
I'm really glad that
but
in
it's
the UK I don't have to
extremely
deal with
rare,
that.
bro. It's
I
extremely
don't care,
rare.
it's extremely rare. It
Are you
still
saying that
happens.
police
They kill
brutality doesn't
civilians.
happen in the UK?
Not to that point. Not to the point they're shooting.
Jesus
people in the
Christ,
street.
they kill people all the time. What are you talking about?
Okay, so name the last person who was shot by the UK police.
It doesn't matter. Oh, you're so obsessed with guns. Why does it matter if they got shot? People get killed by the People get killed by the state all the time.
Do killed.
Bro,
killed, run out.
bro.
Killed.
It doesn't matter whether it's the police, whether it's a fucking whatever. The
I'm gonna give
UK
you
state
the
kills
main
people all
question
the
of the
time through the
copper, Wayne
NHS.
Cousins.
They kill people all the time, bro.
Guns don't kill
Yeah.
people, weapons do.
Yeah, but they don't though. It's just not true.
Yeah, like it's not true that ICE are running around kidnapping people. It's a fascist state. You're just insane, bro. How do you believe it?
They are doing that though.
Jesus
There's video
Christ,
evidence
bro.
of them doing that.
Video
literally
evidence
kidnap people
of
off the street
rare
in unmarked cars.
events where one was clear police negligence, the other one was an idiot that drove a car in the direction of an officer, and he was a trigger happy robot like they all are. At the end of the day, these are isolated incidents of police negligence. Sue the fuck out of them and move on. That's how That's how shit happens in the world when negligence takes place.
23 deaths.
You're going on.
23 deaths have been
You're going
publicised by
23 out of 350 million. Are you being serious?
I think 23 is worse than 0, which is how many of ours have been killed by secret police.
Secret police, really?
Well, they sit in unmarked cars, they don't wear uniform, and they can
Yeah, because they're dealing with the most violent cartel. Bro, they're dealing with the most violent cartels in human history.
Oh, the most violent cartel. Yeah, every single person they get is.
No, it's not that every single person that they see.
undocumented
See, this is the thing. This are you at uni or something? Because you're just one of these typical like uni age students. You don't know anything about fucking. Bro, you're talking about every single immigrant is a fucking Mexican cartel member. You do realize that the Mexican cartels control the human trafficking smuggling operations across the border. So you think illegals that go across the border are just people?
Part in it.
I'm just going to walk across the border. The border's a designated territory of Mexican cartels. They run human trafficking operations. You got to pay them in order to get across. So those are the people that ICE are beefing. That's why they cover their face.
But Emps, if you give them a PJ, I'm sure you'll get through.
Haha, that's so fucking funny, Mushy. Please keep the zingers going.
So many things, man, that you just believe. Like, it's just fucking. How do you believe this shit, bro?
Well, it's just clearly a more violent place, isn't it?
It is a more violent place, yeah.
Violent place.
Yeah, but
so that is one thing.
But it's a very big place, mate.
If you want the most violent place, I'll give you Saudi Arabia.
I don't think that's the most violent place.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty fine.
My wife's cousin apparently used to wake up every morning to
London's not
window,
violent.
saw someone getting their head chopped
London's
off.
not bad at all.
Nah, London's not bad.
London scares me.
But neither is America,
London's
bro. The places that are actually violent are the places where they have crime that takes place that won't get recorded. So, like, Mexico is extremely violent. I'm sure that there are a lot of places in Africa that are very violent because they're not keeping the records properly. To argue that the USA is like this violent place is just ridiculous, man. It's more violent than a lot of places,
What
but
Private Lee said. He's not scared in the
More
US.
violent
I
than the
wouldn't feel
UK.
scared in the US.
it's more violent than the UK. Yeah, it's like 0.
So that is one thing that
Oh no, 0.01 versus 0.04. Oh no.
Finish him.
I mean, I feel like you're just you're making it more insignificant.
Right, so
It is insignificant.
In no particular order: Russia, Ukraine, Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria, South Sudan, Haiti, and Venezuela. Top 10 actual most violent countries in the world.
Was Mexico there?
What do you think about the
US and
leader
UK,
of the
nowhere near that
US
list.
violating the Constitution?
Who?
Oh,
The leader of the US. Well,
How did he
you
violate
mentioned
the Constitution?
earlier? And how? Oh,
Right, I'm going to get off. So have a nice day.
Cheers, buddy.
Mark, I'm going to send you a follow.
How
Wait
did he?
there.
How did he violate the Constitution?
Well, he constantly blocks the First Amendment. He stops people from free speaking.
Oh my god, bro! What are you talking about? Like, what are you actually talking
Is that
about?
not? I feel like that's a true thing. I feel like he does.
You
that.
said he constantly
About
blocks
running a
people
third
from
term.
talking. That's a First Amendment violation.
Well, yes, well, that is the First Amendment. The First Amendment is.
So,
able to-
so if you say so, when Trump says "shut up," you shut up. You think that's a First Amendment violation?
Well, it's more using his political power and monetary riches to suppress those who speak out against him.
I plead the fifth.
How?
Well, remember what happened with Steve Colbert? He mentioned something about Trump, and then suddenly his show gets cancelled off the air by a company that Trump and his oligarchs own.
What was the company?
That's a
It was wherever
Facebook.
Stephen Colbert's on, Paramount. That's it.
Trump doesn't own Paramount.
Him and his oligarchs.
Oh my god, bro!
my God.
You're just reaching so
They
hard.
have oligarchs.
Did you know that Trump had a 2% stake in Fox CBS? So
Well,
that means his
it's actually
oligarchs
a 2%
owns.
stake, and it's more like he's friends with people who own it, and then
Actually,
they
it's a
ask him to do something,
0.19.
and he does it.
He's the president.
Like,
He's
give
going to be
Elon
friends with
taxes.
pretty much everybody who's powerful in the country.
Yeah, but they shouldn't allow that. He should be
Yeah, but no, but, oh my
maintaining
God, it's
the rights of
something-
his citizens more than the rights of his friends.
And
Mate,
you think
he's
that
gonna
this
be
is happening?
empowered to make
Why?
friends.
Just because his friends get butthurt and that he gets butthurt, he shouldn't be able to infringe the First Amendment.
He's
Oh,
not infringing the
first-
First Amendment. The guy got fired, bro. Like, Stop reaching, man.
Because he spoke out.
Spoke
Yeah,
out
he's back
what?
in power, so that counts for something.
Stephen Colbert, has he got a different job now? He needs to go on YouTube like a Tucker.
I think
He needs to
he
be the left wing Tucker.
eventually got he got his job back. I'm pretty
Oh, okay. So it wasn't really that bad of a so-called.
Oh,
First
so he must have made it
Amendment
to 2% then.
I mean, well, it still happened. Like, obviously he just because
Oh
it
my
wasn't
God,
as
bro.
successful as he wanted it to be doesn't mean, you know.
Why can't you just criticize Trump on things that he actually does, like being a Zionist lapdog and being a what's
But
it
he
called?
needs a better
he's-
trying to
haircut.
trying to
he's a
ban
Zionist
bump
lapdog, he's
stocks.
also- he's
Why do you have to
also
make
a-
up shit?
I'm not making shit up. That's true.
You
asked,
guys all
oh,
make
how
shit up.
he
You're like
violated
Trump's a
the Constitution,
rapist.
that's what-
You're like Trump's a rapist, pedophile. Like that's just stupid, bro. You're like, he's a
Well, he is.
racist, rapist,
He is.
pedophile.
He's actually not.
Like he's none
He
of that
really,
shit.
really
He's just a
is, though, isn't
fucking Zyobot. That's it. Like it's not that big a
Yeah,
deal.
but so
Like,
was Michael Jackson, so was fucking Prince Andrew.
I don't know about
Yeah,
MJ.
I'm not a fan of them either. What
No,
are you
but
talking
he's
about?
not,
Just
though.
because
They're
you bring up
British.
otherwise.
He's not. You're just being disingenuous. This is why I say like you look at stuff like
Well,
a
I
girl,
don't care
bro.
that they're British, but you know what? They're not. They're not the leader of our country.
Come on, bro. You really think that what's her name? Eugene Carroll is credible?
Eugene Carroll.
What's her name? Eugene Carroll. Yeah. You think she's credible?
I forgot.
She's just a nutty feminist. Like, where is your discernment, bro?
She's like, oh my god, I broke a nail. It's your
How are
fault.
you like a man and you can't see this shit? Like, how can you not tell the difference between a nutty feminist and like someone who's normal?
Well, I'm making these statements myself. I don't know.
But you're falsely accusing a man of being a fucking rapist. Have you even listened to his accuser speak before?
Well, no.
DTP, I'd go for that.
He was convicted. He was convicted. They paid him off.
Bro,
Well,
he
he's
wasn't
not back in
convicted.
power, so
He wasn't
what?
convicted. It was a fucking civil case. This shit happens all the time to
But
rich,
he did
powerful
pay it
people.
off.
So what?
Yeah, but he paid him off.
He
So
settled.
what?
That's
He had the
normal.
money to do it.
Yeah, but he was found guilty of doing it. He was found
Oh
guilty
my
of sexually
God.
assaulting.
He was found liable, not guilty. There's a difference.
Go on.
Liability in civil court is about returning someone to
Exactly what
the
Dwayne said,
position they
alleged,
would have
not
otherwise been
convicted.
in had they not suffered the harm. Obviously, in the US, they have punitive damages as well. So it's not actually,
harm is?
it's not actually saying
the
that
harm?
you've done something. It's actually saying that you're responsible for recompensing someone for the harm that they suffered. Like, for example,
What was the harm
negligence.
she suffered?
Don't they
She
call
alleged that she was
compensation?
fingered or some shit like that.
Well, she didn't allege because they found him guilty of like.
I
He
can't
wasn't
even
on. He
get
wasn't
that.
on trial,
He
so they
wanted
didn't
to
find
do
him
it.
guilty.
So he was found liable. He
Yeah.
was found liable
For
to
her
pay
damages.
for the damages he caused.
Yeah.
Right. And the
No,
damages
no.
he caused.
The finding of
wasn't-
the finding of fact was that he did indeed digitally penetrate her. But you do realize that a finding of fact is only
Oh,
relevant.
so he did finger her. So he did sexually assault her.
No,
Well,
that was
case
the
closed.
finding.
Hold on a minute.
That was
hold
the
on a minute.
finding
How
of
can they
fact of the
prove that
court.
he
That's the
fingered
court's
her?
opinion.
Where's the DNA on that?
That's the court's opinion, basically.
It's like you can't squirt from your finger.
Yeah. So a court's opinion is only on a judgment like that is only binding in certain circumstances. That's why you can't imprison someone in civil court. So it's
No,
only
Epstein
binding for
was different.
determinations to be made. Like, for example, should you have to give them money? That's something that you can be.
What about your
bound for.
future leader's connections with Epstein and how his name appears more than
What do you
Jesus
mean
in
by
the Bible?
Yeah,
future
but he's
leader?
fucking dead, isn't it?
Well, because you want to move to America, so he
Yeah.
he will be
He's
your
not my
leader by the
leader.
time you get
He's not
there.
my leader.
Epstein's dead, you do not.
He's the leader of the
He
United
leads the country.
United
I'm not talking about
States.
Epstein. I'm talking about Trump.
That
man.
doesn't make him my leader.
Alright, man.
He will be.
I have no allegiance
under
to any
his country.
country. So he's not my leader. I'm just in a land where I want to get stuff done for myself and my family. I don't care about
that
the
he
country.
owns.
He doesn't own it. What are you
That
talking
he's
about?
in charge of. Well, he's in
Okay,
charge of it.
he thinks he's in charge. He's in charge of certain things, but it's just fucking politics, isn't it? It's just a show.
I mean, he is very much in charge of it. That's why he has the job.
You really think Trump is in
Jones.
charge of America? America's run by Zionist bankers, bro.
So
I mean, that
Ep's
is
what
also-
you're gonna
that-
do,
well,
go
that
up
is
to Trump
true.
and ask
Yeah,
him
so
to
he's
finger
not
you,
in
is that what
charge.
you're saying?
He's just a figurehead. Why should I care?
Yeah, Mushy, you're just spouting a lot of nonsense. You really don't know what you're saying. Like genuinely, you just say I just hear you.
I
do
can't
little
wait. I
ad
actually
libs.
can't
I'm
wait
really
till Trump's out of
confused.
office. I can't wait to see what the fucking lefties are going to start bitching about next. We've literally had like
Yeah, I
literally
can't
12
wait
years.
for them to take a more
12 years of these bitches just Trump. Every fucking conversation I come on is like, Trump. What are you guys gonna talk? What are we gonna talk about when Trump's gone? Because this is all you guys talk about. Trump.
I'll probably talk about how I want them to implement more socialist policies.
Jesus Christ.
Yawn.
Oh my God.
Yawn.
You want America to become more like Europe.
Yeah.
Fuck
Why?
me,
Like
mate.
like Norway, for example.
Oh God, Norway, the place where it's dark half the
Denmark.
year, where nobody lives.
Netherlands.
Boring ass
That's
Norway.
geography. It's nothing.
Netherlands is
that's
okay.
geography,
Netherlands
it's
is
nothing to
good.
do with it.
It's not the fucking
Yeah.
UK.
These places are
Both
cold and
socialist
boring,
policies.
bro. They're cold and
Well, just
boring.
because they're cold and boring doesn't. But people are happy there. They
They're
have
not
the highest-
happy. They're
the
fucking
highest-
depressed as fuck.
They do. What are you talking? They're highest on the index.
Oh, the index! The index! How the fuck can you be happy when it's dark half the year? Can you explain that to me? Do you even understand
Probably
human
because they don't
biology?
have to worry about feeding themselves.
Who the
They
fuck
have
is
a
happy
house,
in a
they can have
fucking
kids.
dark, cold place?
Yeah.
Just because they say they're happy means nothing,
Weather
bro.
is far more important than the fact.
It literally is. It literally is a major factor, bro.
It literally is.
Literally,
That's
bro.
fucking brilliant. Like
They,
I've
bro,
got
they
people
live in a boring ass
I
place
have had
with
fun
nothing to do.
Conversing with you.
Ask
I do need
them;
to go
they'll
now,
tell you it's
sorry.
boring as fuck in Norway and all them places.
Yeah, well, the Norwegians I've met, they really miss it. So I don't know.
No way.
Well, they need to stay in Norway and not make America like Norway, because we don't need more socialism, bro.
We do. Look at Mandami; he's doing great.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
It's still not in the UK.
No, he's doing amazing. He's doing absolutely amazing. And
He's
all
good
the
at
people in New
pandering
York
to his
absolutely
base.
Adore him.
Well, New York. Remember, New York is a city.
Pandering to his base. Pandering to his base. I
Yeah.
didn't realise how ridiculous
That's
that
what
is.
politicians do,
Pandering
you
to his
dumbass.
base, aka listening to his citizens.
No,
What are
he's
you
pandering to
talking
his
about,
base.
bro?
That's why he said that thing
His
about.
base are the citizens.
No, that's
He's
why he said that
providing
thing
for his
about.
citizens.
Oh, that's why he said landlords that do not abide by this, that, and will have their property removed. He doesn't mean he's actually going to remove their property. He's pandering to people that like that kind of rhetoric. Yeah, remove people's property. Yeah, landlords are bad. He's pandering to his base. There's nothing wrong with it. He's a politician. But the point is remember, New York City is already built. It's okay to be a steward of a city that's already built. I don't think he's going to run it into the ground. That would be pretty difficult. But if you
No, he's actually running it higher and higher
implement
than
those
it's ever been.
policies everywhere in the United
Eliminating
States,
debt,
there's
for
going to be
example.
economic stagnation. The country will begin to decline, just like Europe. That's why Europe's economy is in shambles. I don't think he's running it into the ground, private. I think you can't. It'll be very difficult to destroy New York City. Let's be honest.
To answer your question there, Private, he's really not running it into the ground because he did close the $12 billion deficit in a very short amount of time.
No. Every socialist talking point, bro. You've fallen for every
Let's
single
hear it.
one.
Let's hear it. How did he not do that?
They just borrowed money
Abs.
from the what's it called?
From who?
They borrowed money from no, they got bailed out. What was it, by the like some state fund or something like that? Smoke and mirrors,
the
exactly.
State fund. How do they?
Let me find it.
Goes towards the state fund.
Let me find it because I don't want to sound like an idiot. No. Because he's the mayor of New York City, right? So I think they borrowed money from the state, from New York State, and then used it to close the deficit in New York City or something like that.
But well, you can see that the standard of living in New York has increased massively.
No, I don't
When
think
the
so.
standard of living, when you say standard of living, what are you referring to?
So for example, the grocery shops that he has opened up, that are I think 30-40% cheaper than everywhere else.
Are they open yet?
I think they're open. Yeah,
I don't think they're
open. I remember seeing that they're open now. At least one of them is.
Right, let's see.
Well, I could be wrong.
No, I don't think
Our
it's open
town's
yet.
just opened a Taco Bell.
Listen, New York is a dope place, man. It'll be difficult. Like I said, it'll be difficult to fuck New York up, but that doesn't mean his policies are the best for New York. A lot of these things that socialists advocate for, I feel like they get them in bits and pieces, and then it's like we never really know how dope life would have been if they didn't come around with their bad ideas. And then they're just like, see,
Yeah.
things are fine. It's like,
so
yeah, but things could be super fucking good.
Socialism's a bad idea.
Just the ideas you guys have are bad. I wouldn't just blanket socialism.
Treat me for a second. What do you think socialism is? What's your idea of socialism? Like, what is the
Socialism
policy?
socialism
What's
is
the
a wealth
idea?
redistributionist ideology that is proposed as a stepping stone towards communism, such that there's more public ownership of certain means of production or companies.
Yeah.
So socialism is a catch-all phrase for a political philosophy that has numerous different, caveats to it, and it's a catch-all term. I didn't say it was a bad thing.
Well, you were speaking very negatively against it, going, "Oh, socialist talking points."
Yeah, because with certain things, socialism needs to be far, far away, like most things. But in some unique cases, I don't think that it should be heavily that socialist reform should be heavily involved in healthcare. I don't think that America needs any more socialist reforms with regards to healthcare.
You don't think that equal healthcare or free equal healthcare should be available to everyone?
No.
Yeah.
And the fact that the poor are priced out of healthcare and put in financial debt because
they already have Medicaid, so they already have the level.
Not everyone, only about 50% of the population.
Yeah, but the people that you said the poor, so you referred to
Medicaid.
the
Medicaid's lower. Medicaid's 30%.
You said
insurance is about 60. So that's 10% of the population.
You said poor.
No.
You said poor.
Yes, the poor.
The poor people get access to Medicaid.
And even then, they don't. It is not completely free. I don't believe. I don't think Medicaid is.
It's like the same cost as like what we pay for healthcare, like
$300. There is still a 10%.
Like £300 a year for like a prescription
Sorry
and
to
dental.
interrupt. Is it possible that Private Me 696 could come up? Because I think he's American, and I would absolutely love to understand the American healthcare.
It's a woman, but also I actually have to go because I've been on live for, let me just see, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Jesus H Christ, I've been on live for 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I need to eat as well. So and I might have been getting messages.
Yeah, I need to go anyway.
We've been talking for a fucking long time, bro.
I've enjoyed debating with you, but I gotta go pick my girlfriend up. So
okay, come back another time.
I will see you in a bit.
Do hurry back, Emps.
All right, take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Take care, sweetie. Bye bye.
There's nothing crazier than a conversation with a woman, because when you try to have a conversation with women and it is positioned as, hey, this is something that women can do better. Anytime it involves a woman having to adjust or change her ways or grow up or improve something, it always is taken as an attack to women as a whole. They can never just see and take themselves out of it. They struggle with being able to look at things without the emotion attached to it, because it always just feels like an attack. It always feels like an attack. So it feels almost impossible to be able to have conversations that are just targeted for women. And that's what I try to do, because I don't feel like I need to address issues with men. I feel like there are men for that, you know what I mean?
And stream.